Tonight's show is Signs. Welcome back. We don't have an official title right now. All this will probably get deleted for new intros later, which we might have to record later.
We are the Untitled podcast done by two bros in Iowa City. And that's it. That's all we got.
We're your Midwest film brother fan gurus.
Wait, I got it. We're your Midwest film bros podcast that both like Starship Troopers.
Not officially TM.
I just like the idea of having like an obnoxiously long.
Yeah, I like that always too.
We'll eventually like the most like Earth, Midwest, like USA, Earth, like it just keeps going farther out. Like
we'll eventually, we'll figure all that out.
It's like a Rick and Morty bit. What we just did.
We'll get something. But anyway, this is our fourth episode? Fourth episode.
A month
of doing this straight. We're committed. We're in this for the long haul.
None posted.
And we haven't posted any. Yeah. We're just getting a few backed up so we can work out, finer points as they release and we hear your feedback. We'll start doing more to enhance and clean up the podcast based off, you guys' feedback and what we kind of learned along the way. So, but tonight's our fourth episode and we're covering the movie Signs. One of my favorite movies growing up. I saw when I was a kid. Love it. I'm glad we're doing it. Pretty excited about it. But before we get into it, just like, how you been this last week? What's up with you?
I had kind of like a lazy week. I was just terrible. I didn't get nothing done.
Just because you do nothing doesn't make it a terrible week.
I went the highlights, quite literally. Theoretically.
Yeah.
Watched a lot of TikTok and Practical Jokers,
Yeah, you sent me a lot of TikTok. I was like, get off the TikTok, man.
And then I sent him another one. He's like, get off TikTok. And I sent him another one.
Some more.
That was very funny. I'll say this. TikTok, it's like a drug, man. Like
it is.
You sit there.
I remember the first time, I was like, what's this TikTok? And somebody told me about it, so I downloaded it and checked it out. And I lost 4 hours on a Saturday afternoon that I was like really excited just to be able to do the things I do, like play my games and watch my Star Trek. And I was going to relax on that day. And then 4 hours of me and TikTok, I was like, what? It just took out a huge chunk of my game. And any real gamers know, on your day off, you're going to put a good 8 to 12 hours in. Maybe 16 if you're real lucky and nobody bothers you and shit. That's what I was going for. But 4 of my hours were lost to TikTok. And I was like, never again.
Yeah, I've fallen to it. Weed and TikTok is the ultimate drug. You don't need meth.
More like being hungover and TikTok is a good drug because you're just like, nah, you just keep going.
You're just depressed,
Yeah, I'm just always like, I hate my life. I'm gonna just watch this TikTok till I hydrate. Because mine's always conspiracy theories, big booty bitches, and Elon Musk and space stuff. I don't know, I guess, and robots. Oh, and tons of recipes. I get great recipes. So it just knows me too well, and then I get hooked in. But I haven't done it in a long time. I did that first day a lot, but then, when you or Peasy or somebody sends me a TikTok, I check it out. Then I hit back, but you have to back out 4 times to actually exit out the fucking app.
It's like 28 days later for you.
In one of those backs, something catches me, and I just get sucked in. I'm like, let me check this out. I'm like, oh, that was dope. And then I just kind of go down a rabbit hole. It happened a couple times, but I'm able to cut myself off after 10, 15 minutes. I'm like, no, stop.
I have not. I'm terrible. It gets you, man.
Yeah, no.
They got it figured out. Those Chinese guys.
I work through it, but I'm on to them now, too. So I'm like, no. Nope.
In my small, tiny baby defense, I do make TikToks. So I am, trying to learn the trade.
So I
do save a lot of green screen videos.
I totally understand that. I can't hate on that, so I get it.
I have been doing way too much, though.
I just got a cold breeze. I don't know if the winter's open still.
Ghosts.
It was quite a cold breeze. Yeah, I latched them shut, so it's creepy. You didn't feel that cold waft just now?
Yeah.
It's quite a waft of cold air. Anyway. So, Signs, how you been this week? You've been good?
All right. Just chilling.
Yeah, my week was a pretty standard week. I should have edited some more of our videos, but I didn't. And I just kind of defaulted into playing H1Z, not H1Z1, that's the old game, but 7 Days to Die.
Which is an old game.
Which is an old game, but they just hit 1.0 a few weeks ago.
So technically.
And so I wanted to play the new 1.0 version. I just hadn't yet. So I started, a week ago or so.
Is it cool? Good?
It's fucking excellent right now. Okay. I haven't been this hooked into it since A20 maybe? A18 maybe? Which is like pre-alpha 18 version they had out. Those were good. I think 14 was good. I don't know. I've been playing a long time. So this, it's been great. I've been having fun, loving it. And so just kind of really want to do some big things next. This is what I do. I play games, man. Uh-huh. I also want, been doing the podcast, but I've been cooking a lot, cleaning a lot.
You need to chill, man. You need some time off.
So I just need to do kind of a chiller week. Yeah, decompress, watch some old shows, and just kind of relax. And I did that, but I'll get back on it this week. Get the shows edited out and fucking play a little more of the game if I can. But I don't know. Just trying to get it all in. Feeling good. So just a standard week all around. We need to call our sister. That's a big thing.
Yeah, we haven't called Tanya in a while.
I was thinking, we should do like Sundays. Like, before we do our show, just like, call up Tanya quick, or if we get it done earlier. It's a late show, and we're recording this late tonight.
1 a.m. 1 a.m.
Yeah, 1:30 a.m. Like, we started just a few minutes ago, yeah, so like, basically 1:30 a.m., but we're gonna get this in. It's just like,
no excuses.
No excuses. We'll get through it. Any obstacle, we got this. So.
It's kind of spooky. It's spookier.
It's not spookier, and this is a spooky
We are going to be on the witching hour soon.
Yeah. So, yeah. 3 a.m. is going to come. The demonic witching hour.
You already got a cool breeze.
Yeah, I just felt a cool breeze a second ago. I won't delete that out.
Spirits in here suck my dick. Come at me.
This might be a little longer intro, but we're just like chatting. Fuck it.
We're having a good time.
Yeah.
Hopefully you're having a good time. Yeah.
I wouldn't be doing this if I wasn't having a good time. So, how'd you feel about last week's episode? What was that? That was
the Joker.
The Joker.
I think we had a great time.
I thought it was good.
I thought, it was kind of like a return to form because, like, in my mind, I put The Matrix like pretty high above The Prestige, just because The Prestige.
It was just so hard, kind of get through it. But I thought we still nailed that out pretty well.
Yeah, I think we did a good job for it. Yeah. And it's a hard movie.
Yeah, it's structured. It jumped around, so
it's the structure. It's like, I don't think the story's
crazy complicated. We're not like professional writers of any kind or even professional podcasts. So,
we're just dudes.
We just kind of went after and did it, and I think we got through the story pretty well. Yeah. It was coherent to you could understand,
And with that said, don't pick Inception as the first Patreon movie because
sure, that's gonna be a mindfuck. Yeah, but a good challenge. We'll get through it. We'll do it justice.
We did The Prestige.
We did The Prestige, and a year from now we're gonna do all kinds of crazy movies. We've done more with less.
But I think the Joker went well. I think it was fun doing a movie where we disagreed on.
Yeah.
It was interesting to see where we shifted. Like, I kind of went a little higher than I originally. And
I started understanding your points a little more. So it was good. I thought it was good.
Yeah. So I think the Joker is a lot of fun. I said there's like 9 different types of situations we can get with this. If you're a statistics whiz, where we could both be positive on a movie, we could both be neutral, and then we could both be negative. And then there's the
you need to bust out the graph or the graph or the pie chart or whatever. So we can get a visual on this.
But
when we get an Instagram, we'll post it on the Instagram.
So it's just basically just all the different combinations. There's 9. Second. So it's kind of fun to think about how we just had a new one. Like, the first 2 were both positive. We were both positives.
Yeah, and the first 2 were positives, and we were kind of positive, negative.
Yeah.
We're eventually going to hit 2 negatives, or
But you got to think about it this way, too. Negative. There's your positive and my positive.
Yep.
So they're 2 different.
It's going to be yep. And there's going to be 2 negatives. Your negative, my negative. Yeah. So that's going to be, I can't wait till we just kind of.
We have all
that. We can have that little dynamic info put into each other, where we stood on it. And then just some of the chart later on.
Yeah, one of you guys will make the chart. I'm not making the chart.
Well, yeah.
One of you guys.
We'll get it done.
I am a statistics nerd. Go crazy.
I do love, at the end of games or something like that, they break down our statistics, which I hope is when you die, we get a long time.
That's all I expect.
Go over all the statistics, you farted this many times, you ate this many cheeseburgers,
I don't want to meet my Mima again. I want to see how many chicken wings I ate.
Yeah, right? I'll talk to her later. I'll just let me see my stats. Damn. I did do that many push-ups. Nice. Or I did way more. I don't know.
Like, put all of the dumps I've ever taken on a scale. I guess is how it went.
How many times did I really watch Star Trek? You just, like, get all the hours. You spent X amount of hours watching Star Trek. You're like, yes. Like, just...
Again, I don't need to see Nemo again. That's all I need. I just need this awesome statistics wall. Maybe some visualization of it.
And, like, maybe if, like, she's still around after I get my stats, I'll, go say, hey, how you doing?
And I've thought about this for way too long, where if it's like a monkey in a typewriter situation, and the multiverse exists, that means some random monkey is typing your... Because if there's infinite multiverses... There's got to be a monkey somewhere
we're all just monkeys,
typing your exact statistics. So they exist somewhere.
They're out there. Something. How do you feel about this episode coming up?
I'm pretty excited about it. I really like Signs. So.
I love Signs. Yeah. I feel bad I can remember all week, like, what were we doing this week? I had a whole week of disassociating. I just wanted, just stepping back from everything, but when I got back into it, when I heard Signs, I was like, fuck yeah, ready for this. Noise. Let's go.
And I appreciate this is our shortest movie, I think, by a mile.
Yeah, like, it's like
106 minutes.
1 hour, 46 minutes.
Yeah.
So, yeah, shorter than the other two. The other three. The other three, I think all of them were over...
Chunkers.
2 hours. Like,
yeah.
I think Matrix was shortest at 2:06, or 2 hours, 6 minutes, maybe. Either way, so, like, I still have 9 pages of notes. I have 10, but there's some spaces in there, and, like, I copy and pasted some quotes in.
Psychopath.
Are a little bigger, so, like, bigger in font, so it made it bigger, but it's 10 pages, but it's, like, only the top line or two of the 10th page, but this would be, like, if I deleted out some spaces, it could be 9 pages, which would make each podcast with 9 pages of notes. But I think we're going to blow through it a little quicker. This intro's a little longer, so it might all equate out to another fucking 3-hour show.
We were ahead, and then we...
Yeah, we're ahead. It's the same thing that happens, like, when I cook in the mornings. I show up early to do, like, some big cook thing, but I'm like, I take my time and, like, just la-di-da around. I'm like, fuck, all of a sudden, like, I already used up all this time. Well, the extra time I have, now I've, like, used it up just la-di-da-di-ing, but...
You're still gonna get your signs, alright?
I get my food out, and we're still gonna get our signs in. So, that's cool. How many times have you seen this movie, you think?
I think 4 times.
And I wonder, like, I'm pretty sure one
of them was, like, astronomically young, yeah.
Way back when I was watching it.
Scarred me.
And I showed you the movie, and yeah, I'm pretty sure.
This is like a great kid's first horror
movie. This is before the Yellow House. I remember watching it in there, because I remember looking out the room. Like, Mom and Jared's room was out the stairs there. And then I remember looking out the window, where that bench seat is in the window?
Yeah.
Looking toward the machine shed. And I just always imagined, like, an alien sitting on top of the fucking big machine shed out there. And so, I don't know. It's always been something that's been with me for a long time. And we had corn growing and shit.
Yeah.
It was like all the elements were there,
Like, because we live in the Midwest and nobody ever makes movies out here.
Yeah.
We don't get any big budget movies, especially. So, like, to see a movie, and I know it's...
few, but it's just not...
I know Signs takes place in Pennsylvania, but you could tell me this was Iowa, and I wouldn't know the difference. Like, it's just middle of nowhere growing corn.
Yeah.
So, might as well.
It could have been fucking Nebraska for all we knew, yeah.
So, to see a movie, like, actually take place where I'm at, and then throw being scary on top of there...
Do they grow corn in Pennsylvania?
I guess.
The movie shows it.
Yeah.
I do have a fun fact about the corn later, but...
So it's just like to see a movie, in the place you live, and then also have it be scary. It makes it even scarier for a kid.
It's just basically like, taking place in a rural area. And like, we grew up in a rural area out in the middle of fucking nowhere. And so, yeah, it kind of just hits home on that level. Yeah, like, I don't know, I've seen it probably dozens of times before. Maybe seen it once or twice in the last 10 years. But back when, growing up, I don't have the DVD set, which has like special features, bonus features on it. So I remember watching all of it, and I've always enjoyed the movie. I had it for a while, I loved it. So, ready for a quick overview?
Yeah, go for it.
All right. Signs came out in 2002, was a PG-13 movie. It was an hour 46 minutes long, written and directed by M. Night Shyamalan. It stars Mel Gibson as Graham Hess, Joaquin Phoenix as Merrill Hess, Rory Culkin as Morgan Hess, Then we have Abigail Breslin as Bohes.
Who the fuck is Bohes?
Bohes, she's a daughter.
Oh, Bo.
Yeah. And then you have Cherry Jones as Officer Paskey. M. Night Shyamalan as Ray Reddy. Ted Sutton as the SPC Cunningham, the armor recruiter guy.
Okay, yeah.
And then Merritt Wever as Tracy Abernathy, the drugstore
Oh my god, yeah, Tracy.
lady. I just added her on because, like, I'm in love. Anyway.
You're in love with Tracy?
Oh, she's in also... Fun facts later. I'll bring it up later when we get to her. But, yeah, you'll find out.
We'll find out.
Love her. The storyline, like, synopsis thing was provided. I just got, again, from MVD. And it was provided by Radhika Rishan on IMDb. In his words, it's Preacher Graham Hess loses faith in God after his wife dies in a brutal car accident. He lives with his children and brother in a farmhouse. Crop circles start to appear in their cornfields. Graham dismisses them as mischief by miscreants. After hearing strange noises and watching news coverage on crop circles appearing all over the world, the family grows suspicious of alien activities. Now they must stick together as a family and believe to survive and escape the ordeal. Well, I wish you would have, fleshed out that line, believe.
You gotta pick this, dude. You picked it.
I picked it. I just kind of picked what's biggest on IMDb.
Oh my god, you just looked at the numbers. You just looked at the numbers, copy and paste on them.
Yep, I sure did.
Monster. Monster.
Well, I could have went with my own, like maybe someday we'll do our own synopsis, but mine's going to be more butchered. Actually, probably more fun. We might switch that up. Tell us what you think. You want that?
Flip it every time. You have to do this stuff. I have to do it.
Oh, yeah, that'd be great. Yeah. The podcast.
Dude, let me do Milan.
The Delta Flyers.
Give me this. We
both could just give our own, because like the Delta Flyers, how they do it, one gives a haiku and one gives a limerick.
I'm not doing that.
Oh, we're not doing that. That's way too much damn work. But like, we just give our own, like,
I'm illiterate as
you have, like, a paragraph, like, sum the shit up and, like, tell us what it is. I'm like, for signs right now, it'd be like, off the top of my head, this old country family has no survival skills at all. When an alien invasion comes in, they have a whole lot of family drama they have to work through, and a bunch of stuff that happened in their life coincidentally helped them survive. Bam! Well, that's what, that'd be my off the top of my head synopsis. Do you have one?
A man has lost his way with his God. Now, the aliens have brought it back. Water, doors, do they like? Question mark. He finds God again.
I feel like you set up as a haiku, and if we count the symbols, you might be on, but...
I have no idea. It's
more like, kind of deaf poetry or something like that.
I'm trying to make it sound cool,
You have a certain cadence to it. No, well, hey. Yeah, from now on, we're going to write our own little synopsis. Our own summaries and shit, and we'll compare and contrast.
How many sentences? We got to put 4? I feel like 4 is too little.
One paragraph. Just like one.
Can we get 2 paragraphs?
Just sum it up. Nothing too
How long is that? How long is
concise.
that guy?
This thing was like...
whoever this user is
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
7. We get 7.
Nope, that's a comma. 6.
6 sentences. We get 6 sentences is the max.
Sum it up in 6 sentences or less. Okay, well, we'll start doing that.
Yeah.
That sounds fun. I like it. Okay.
We've turned this into an English class now.
Oh, yeah. We're having more fun. We're building. We're growing as we go.
Yeah.
Because the last one I didn't really quite like very well either. I was just like, just kind of throwing it in there.
It was a bad movie. It was a bad movie.
It was a good movie. And you're just being extra instead of...
yeah.
Okay, well, I got all that in. Any other thoughts before we jump into this?
I was scarred by this movie, as I've kind of mentioned a little bit. I like this movie. It's kind of there's of course the lesson, quote unquote, but I want to say that.
And I have the lesson out there. Trust me, you're always like, we'll get this in, don't worry. We'll get to all these parts that you want in.
But the other thing, and this isn't the theme, I guess, for me, but a thing I really had to struggle with this one is, for this specifically, do I go with how much I like this movie, since it's my opinion, or do I put my critical hat on where there are problems I have? You logically think about it. It's kind of a hard...
Well, I think we should hit on both sides of the thing. do both. Like, I think of this logically, but in my fandom, like, just from nostalgia purposes, I like it. I can justify it this way.
I feel like you have to treat it equally, you know?
Treat it equally. You can be critical just as well as we are sentimental. You know? Yeah. I don't think there should be any limit to analyzing anything in one certain aspect or another. Like, let's look at
Unless it's like The Dark Knight Rises.
As many ways as we can. Like, many ways you can, we should look at it. So, we can look at it critically or sentimentally, all that shit. So, let's go over. That's what we do. We go over everything. We'll just share our thoughts and feelings about all of it. We can look at it critically. Let's have one, too. So, before we get in, have a nice drink, and get into this.
Yeah.
This is where, we play the music that I have saved for some great ass... No. Oh, terrible.
I'm not saying it was good. I was just trying to do the music, asshole. Fill it in, future Xander. Dick. I was just doing some filler music for you to help you find it.
Or you had to do, the most alerting fucking, 1950s news bulletin fucking beeping.
Oh, my God.
Anyway. Opening scene.
We need to go back. We need to go back
to credits. Opening credits.
The Freddits. What are these things? Why are they here?
The opening credits. You said Freddits?
Yeah, that's what I called them. Front credits.
Oh, well.
Freddits.
Maybe you should start off with front credits and then say Freddits.
Oh my God, I was going cool. Our audience is very smart. They get it. They're not like the audience.
I didn't get it. I'm pretty. I'm not the dullest tool in the shed, but you know.
You would have put that Rubik's Cube together. But yeah, what the fuck is this? Why is it the first 2 minutes?
What do you mean? It's weird. The first 2 minutes. It goes on for a while.
But,
I feel like it sets the tone. It's the creepy music. The musical score is amazing.
Yeah, the music is very good.
It's great.
And fun fact.
And it's put out the credits, letting everybody be known real quick, and just kind of amping people up for this. Because, especially the first crowds, they didn't know what to expect. They just knew it was another alien movie. They didn't know how this alien movie was going to go down.
And some fun facts I got from watching the credits in the beginning of this movie. You could have had a scene in the background. Did you have to do it on a blue-black thing?
It was eerie and dark and cool. I liked it.
Anyhow.
I said opening credits really sets the tone. I really love the musical score.
The music's great.
It sets the tone for the scene. I like it.
Anyhow, but two people I did notice.
It was wrong. Might have been a little long.
I recognized. Kathleen Kennedy, who would go on to fuck up Star Wars. Fuck you, Episode 8.
What's she doing it?
She's the one who's in charge of the Disney Star Wars.
I mean, what's she doing in this movie?
Oh, she was a producer. She was just a producer.
Oh, okay.
I was like, Kathleen Kennedy, the woman who ruined Star Wars. And then the other one, I know.
You get into how she ruined Star Wars later.
We'll do that. I can't wait. I fucking can't wait. I am going to rip it. Yeah, be scared. Be scared. But anyhow, so I saw her, and the other name was actually the guy who did the music for this. He helped Hans Zimmer on the Dark Knight trilogy because he shows up in the Spotify.
Oh, really?
I've seen
I was thinking I should have looked up who did it, who did this music score because it was so great.
I'm interested with that, with the Hans Zimmer thing, because Hans Zimmer seems to get most of the credit, but I
hear his name all the time, in different shit.
He does all sorts of movies and stuff, but what did this guy do for the Dark Knight stuff? Because his name is on all the so did he edit it? And maybe he did half of it?
Maybe he helped compose some of it or something?
Yeah, this
score, I love it. I have a few notes of it when the music does certain things. I'm reminds me of this or that throughout the, notes here, or throughout the show notes when we go over it, but yeah, I don't know. The music is I feel like it sets the tone for just it's going to be a great musical score. It's going to be eerie and it went on a long time, but also I feel like it just kind of sets you up for thinking what's going on here. I feel like the movie delivers at the end, at least for all that we have to experience through it, it delivers. So anyway, opening credits handled. And then we go to the opening scene and we see a family photo and Graham, pops up out of bed, an empty bed, just him in it. Even though we see the family photo right next to the bed, and so where's the wife? Just kind of starts that off. And it shows him brushing his teeth, and there's a cross stain on the wall right outside the bathroom where it shows, the stain is like where a cross was for so long, and then it was taken off, and then like the stain of the dirt and shit around where the cross was sitting. There's a little detail, like a lot of people might not see it right off the bat. I noticed it on a few watch throughs. You know, oh, it's a stain. There had been a crucifix hanging there for a long time. You know, while he's brushing his teeth, he hears a scream outside, and he's like,
okay, what the? He can't hear that.
Yeah, you can.
No.
You know how many times I heard you children screaming outside at the farmhouse? I was in there taking a shit in the bathroom and you're all screaming outside. I can hear that shit.
No, but yeah, like right outside the window.
I can hear you down by the corn line.
She's 300
it's the same space from the corn line.
300 yards. No way.
Bullshit. She was not 300 yards.
No way.
No.
Because
they were like, maybe 100 yards, like 50 yards to the fucking corn line.
Outrageous.
The field line. And then
she's a tiny little girl.
Maybe 50 yards in. Little girls can scream. That's some bullshit.
Nah, I think no way he hears that. And then also Meryl, it wakes up Meryl.
Yeah, and he's out there in the like shed too, like in his little loft apartment.
I'm just saying, my good ass, I wouldn't hear shit. I would have swept.
Okay, that's just you, motherfucker. I'd have popped up. I hear that shit. Bullshit. I have like fatherly instincts or like paternal instincts.
Oh, look at me! I
gotta save fucking any children in distress. I just do that. I don't know.
I throw the challenge flag on this one. I think. What is no? If there's any soundologists or whatever that would be.
You can clearly hear that.
Bullshit.
Fine. No problem with that. We're both raised on the farm. I heard you children screaming out there.
There's an traumatist or
I'm gonna go down there next weekend. I'm gonna go outside and start screaming. You just be up in like the room brushing your teeth. And you can be like, I don't hear nothing, even though you do, because you know.
We need an independent.
Yeah, we need somebody like, hey, go over here, brush your teeth, and tell me, just hang out. Like, shit. Then we start screaming and shit. I'm like, did you hear anything? Like, I heard some screaming outside. I knew it. Anyway, so here's the screaming. He bolts out, and then Meryl wakes up and bolts out of his loft apartment above the shed that he's staying in, at his brother's, Graham's. And they they go out to the field from the scream was coming from, and they find the kids out in the field. And I remember back in the day when I first see the song, so they came out in 2002, so I'd have been 14, like 13 or 14. And I was just like, I remember seeing this game. Is this Macaulay Culkin? It can't be Macaulay Culkin because Macaulay Culkin is much older now. Or at that time, it'd have been older than the kid in the movie, so, but it just really reminds me of Macaulay Culkin. And then doing the research for this, I was like, oh, it's gotta be his family, like brother, cousin, something. We should have looked it up. Did you know, though, the surname Culkin in Irish is shortened angelicized form of a Gaelic Mac Ullison, son of Ullison, is what it means, and it's a diminutive of Wilkin, and that's itself a diminutive of William. So, yeah, there you go. I had to look it up. I'm like, what kind of name is fucking Culkin anyway? And I just had to find it out.
What kind of name is Culkin anyway?
It really comes from the original name of your name that dates back way more than Culkin does.
A lot of Williams in history.
And I take much pride in saying I named you. I came up with your name.
Yeah. Didn't Dad want to name you some Western bullshit?
I don't know, something weird. Mom wanted to name me something stupid too. And I was just like, how about William? I thought about it real hard. We're at Grandma's house, out there in Amish country, and I was just like, remember coming out of the bathroom, I'm just like, I got it, William. And everyone's like, yeah, well, yeah. And it got to the top of the list, and it ended up being your name. So,
I like to think there's
taking credit for that.
Taking credit. Draft for names. It got to the top of the list. They had to kill 8 other names,
Yeah, no, they're all a bunch of other stupid shit. I'm like, no. And then
we're going to name him.
I got William out, and we went with that.
Elmo Bulldozer Town.
Taking credit. That's what I'm. So, but Cameron pulls out after Graham finds the kids, and they're talking, and...
Well, we got to talk about him finding the kids, because she's like...
He finds the kids.
Are you in my dream? Which is just like...
The kid says that?
Bo says that.
To Graham, Dad.
And it's just weird, and I'm like, the question I need to ask you...
I missed that, because she talks about this dream she
later on, yeah.
Oh, okay. Good catch.
I don't think it's a dream. At least that's my pitch. I think...
Well, she might have had a dream that was very similar, but it turned into real life, and then when she talks about it later on, she's like, I saw this in my dream. I'm like... Where are you talking about this dream from, bitch? Out of nowhere. But I missed this in the beginning.
Yeah.
I watched this. I totally missed that. Fuck.
But what's interesting, too, with this is, what do you call it? It could be. What would be wild is, you know how M. Night Shyamalan made that like Unbreakable movie, and it's like fusing like 4 or 5 of his movies together. But as far as I understand, it's like superpowers.
Who? What?
M. Night Shyamalan.
Oh, okay.
He made that Unbreakable movie.
Yeah. I love that movie. It's great.
All the superheroes, but there's like references to his like there's characters would show up from the other. I haven't seen it, but I got the idea. It's like the MCU, but for M. Night Shyamalan.
You haven't seen Unbreakable?
I'm not.
But
anyhow. What if she is a superhero who sees the future through her dreams?
Or it could be like, she has little extra powers, maybe not like a superhero thing, but I'm not sure it does have that theme in a lot of his movies that there's extra things going on, but usually at the end of the movie just kind of shows that it's all just human stuff. Well, this is clearly extra...
terrestrial.
I wasn't going to say that, but yeah, extraordinary situation on this movie, so it kind of works out the same way. So yeah, they're talking, the camera pans out, pulls all the way up from them talking, and it just keeps pulling out further and further to show the entire crop circle. It seems like a standard, fairly small, not super intricate crop circle, but crop circle nonetheless in the field. And then,
it definitely is a circle of crops.
That were bent over. And not in the fun way. Anyway, so Graham's on the phone with Lee. I don't know who this Lee is, but he's talking to seeing if, like, it was the local hoodlums, Lionel Pritchard and the Wolfton brothers, fucking around out in his field. Then it goes like, oh, the dog peed itself, and it sounds like I think it's sick. And he's just like, well, we'll just call so-and-so, which is like the doctor. And he's like, well, he doesn't do doctors. And then he goes into what you're saying. It's like,
dude. That's not.
He's like, oh, he'll know what to do though. Like,
that's such a
doctor, vet doctor. Like, they know anatomy well enough that they can.
Are you seriously defending this guy?
Branch.
Are you insane?
I'm not saying. I'm like, they just kind of know similar things. They might know what to do further before they even know there's alien things going on. Whatever. The doctor just peed himself. Like, we'll just get some info from the local doctor. And like, they're not a vet, but they'll have an idea, and maybe they'll like see if we have to look into it further or something like that.
I don't know. I feel like vets go to school for a reason. You know?
Yeah, and maybe they just didn't know the vet's fucking name, and they just wanted to try the other guy. Who knows? I just
thought it was a very funny line. I thought it was a very funny like.
I don't think it's
like a country guy. That's just a country guy thing to do. I'll take it there.
Like, we'll talk to fucking,
my cat.
Like, my old buddy, like, you'll know, he's had a lot of dogs before,
I think my hamster has syphilis. Can you treat it? The local little doctor.
So, yeah. Like, what do you think I should do? Like, well, I'll probably give some of this penicillin, but maybe I'll just give him a smaller dosage. Whatever.
You're wild, man.
I'm saying it's not that fucking deep, and you're all up in it.
I think, like, Jesus, he's had to say that in
We're never going to get through this whole thing.
Yeah, we are. You gotta have faith, man. But, like, what if the hands
We're already getting into it in the first, you said 6 minutes in. We haven't...
Dude, because you're going on this crazy rant that a doctor...
You're going on the rant. I'm just trying to, bring some rationale into it.
I'm playing devil's advocate. I think it is, that's crazy.
Does the devil need an advocate in this one?
I think... I
don't know. I'm just trying to say something stupid. It goes the cop lady coming over, who is... Cherry Jones as Officer Paskey. So Officer Paskey comes over. And
I just want to say real quick, this woman reminds me of so many people where we come from. We have a tractor beam of bullshit. Like, she just starts talking. She doesn't even give you a second to put your seatbelt on. And it is like, you're stuck there, and if it's the most boring fucking tale you've ever heard. You're just forced there.
You're not wrong.
And it's like, there's one scene where, we're gonna go through it, where, I have, I wrote the whole thing, and I'm like, what if we just took this whole thing out?
Yeah.
What if we just took this whole thing?
There's a few scenes in this movie where I'm like, does this need to be in here? I don't really know.
And I'm like, this sentence makes perfect sense. It makes more sense to not just have this. It's like he tried to do the Tarantino thing, where Tarantino just throws, a
lot of dialogue out. All of his dialogue is flawless.
But it's cool.
Yeah.
So it's like M. Night Shyamalan saw Pulp Fiction for the first time.
I'm sure he's influenced, because I'm not
but I like my joke here of him seeing it that's a cool idea. Why don't we try to do that with Signs and just failing?
We can't poke too many holes in M. Night Shyamalan's ways, because he already has
I'm here to poke holes.
A tumultuous, either you love him, hate him kind of thing, and I love him, so I just.
You told me. You told me to pull out the gloves. I'm pulling out the gloves.
So Officer Brasky shows up. they had called 2 hours ago, but she's finally there now. Paskey and Graham go check the field with the crop circles in it, and then it goes to the dog tripping with the kids. Like, his son, Morgan, is with Bo, and he's tending the grill, the chicken on and everything. He's like, oh, Dad's gonna burn these again. And Bo's kind of hanging out there near the dog, and the dog's acting weird, so she's kind of like checking it out, and she tries to push some water over to him, and the dog starts tripping, and like barking at her all dangerous, and then it cuts back to Graham and Officer Paskey in the field.
With his fucking bullshit super hearing.
Hang on, we're not there yet. Wait till I get
right. Wait, I got other stuff because like you got.
Because like you go back to Officer Paskey in the field. Wait. And Graham, and they're talking around the crop circle.
Oh my god. Yeah, okay.
So the dog's tripping when she tries to give him the water, and then it goes back to Graham talking to Officer Paskey in the field about how the stocks were perfectly bent over, and that she's getting reports of animals acting strange all around the county, like there's a predator about, and keeps referring to him as father, and he asks her to stop calling him that, and then he notices that he can't hear his children.
Wait, I gotta...
Who are only, like, 50 to 100, like 80 yards away. Not even 80 yards. Probably like 60 yards away.
I think that's outrageous that he thinks that he can hear his kids at
mostly
all times.
Children, there's always going to be some like giggling, screaming, shit talking,
outrageous.
something. I've heard children many times, and parents have this sixth sense of like, they always have an ear on their children. Good parents do. It's a thing. Did you do that as a pun? No. The sixth sense. Damn, I should have. Yeah, whatever. I call him bullshit. I said yellow flag. I didn't call him bullshit. I'm shutting that one down too. Like, bam! Ruling on the field overturned.
But anyhow, I also got to talk about how Theo Henry. That's exactly how people talk. Before you're like, oh, this is some weird M. Night Shyamalan thing. That's how people talk around when there's like 2 people per town. Oh, Theo Henry would have done this and whatnot. So like, they nailed the dialogue. But I'm just trying to say that's like how it is.
Yeah, no, I totally agree.
They nailed it. They nailed that's how we talk. Yeah. We're like, oh, Bill, Ted.
Yeah, you know everybody.
I've always described small towns as like Nordic lore. Like, oh, you are Thor, son of Odinson. Like people just know your shit, like from a mile away. Like, I've seen you, you know. Yeah. Are you Bill Blank's boy? Like, oh yeah, I am.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's just how it is out there, you know.
It is. And so, yeah, she keeps referring to him as father, and he kind of says to her ass, like, will you please stop calling me that? You know, he's like walking off and being, you know, kind of distant strange. She's like, what's up? And she's like, I can't hear my children. So they get back to the yard. They find that the dog had tried to attack Bo, and Morgan stabbed the dog and killed the dog with, the grill fork that they had, that he was using flipping the chicken. So
no way he killed his dog, right?
Totally could happen.
Dude, that thing was jacked. That dog with that dude.
He stabs through the fucking heart with a damn giant grill fork.
Outrageous.
Yeah. Slicing some arteries is done.
Outrageous. I feel like that kid would.
I'm shutting you down on this whole movie.
Oh my god.
I don't know where you're coming from. How you don't think like 11-year-old boy
that dog
in defense of his fucking little baby sister is not gonna fucking handle some shit. He seemed like a smart kid, able kid. Yeah, he might be a little asthmatic, but he alright.
That dog would have fucking demolished that kid.
He wasn't even going for him. He was going for her. So while the dog was fucking around with her, he could have came up like, I gotcha. So nope, shut that down.
Gotcha.
Shut you down. So Grandma goes to take the kids inside and has his brother Merrill tie up the dog, make sure the knot is extra tight.
But this catching strays though, like he's just
what do you mean catching strays?
He was walking.
He just came out because he was like in there getting shit for the little barbecue that they're having.
Yeah.
And again, like, why weren't you there watching the kids? But he didn't even say that. But like he was just grabbing some shit. Like
what was he supposed to do there?
Cooking at a barbecue, like whatever. The kids can watch the damn grill for a second, so like he shouldn't be in trouble. He wasn't catching no strays.
No, that's what I'm saying.
He like walked up and like, oh, the shit went down, and he just asked like, hey, tie it up because some shit went down, and then he's gonna get filled in later. I'm
just saying, he just seems like a little mean. How he kind of seems like what the hell, dude?
I don't think he's mean at all. If I was walking my kids inside after my kid just got attacked by a dog, and my other kid had to fucking kill the dog that was about to attack mine, and you were walking out, like, grabbing some, like, with some buns and ketchup and shit in your hand, I'd be like, hey, go tie up the other dog behind the shed, make sure it's real tight. And I know you probably do just what he did. I don't know what the fuck's going on.
Yeah.
Damn, I see the dog out there dead. The kids are startled. They're walking inside. I'm gonna tie this motherfucker up and then go and find out later. That's all I have, man. That's all you do too. That's how I see it. But it ties up the dog, and it goes, like, the greatest music. It does give me, like, X-Files vibe, creepy, just perfect fucking eerie music. Sets the theme and tone of the rest of the movie, and it comes up a lot more. Totally love the musical score in this.
Fantastic.
After that, it goes to a terrifying shot of the daughter at the bedside of Graham, right up in his face on the bedside of the table, which is like a common thing. Get out of my face! You're not doing this right now. Something that happens to every parent. It's just terrifying.
Horrifying, yeah.
I'm pretty sure you've done it to me once as a kid. You're like, something, and I'm like, what the fuck you need? I can't remember the exact time, but I'm pretty sure you've done it as like a little kid.
I've done it today.
To me and shit, like, all that. So, it's just something that every parent's kind of go through. She's like, there's a monster outside my room. Can I have a glass of water? So they get up, he gets a glass of water, takes her back to the room. She asks, like, hey, do you ever pray to mom and she ever answer you? And he says no. And she's like, she never answers me either. And then while he's sitting there talking to her, Graham notices a silhouette of a menacing looking figure on top of the shed roof.
It just sticks with you too because it's just like, boom! And then you see it. And it's like, just scary, you know what I mean? And then I do want to talk about does she ever answer you back? Because is that a good thing to say as a parent? Should you lie there?
No, you should tell her straight up. He said no.
Yeah. I'm like, it's like a...
And that's how she, like, got to have that moment, like, yeah, she doesn't answer me either.
Yeah.
So it's like, cool, maybe that's something that helps her get some, closure. And so like, oh yeah, she says, like, how much she misses and loves you or something like that. No, I'm just gonna fuck a kid up more. Just be like, hey. Yeah. Like, no, I don't hear it either. And I think...
It just took me off guard. I wasn't prepared for that. Like, no, I don't hear shit.
No, I'm just glad. Yeah, because it's like, usually you hear some, like, bullshit, sap, whatever.
She went off to a farm. She's going to go
she's off in a better place, and we can't hear her because she's too busy singing, happy songs and dancing. No, fuck that. So anyway, he knows the silhouette, and then he goes and gets Meryl, and they think it's like Lionel Pritchard and the Wolfgang brothers out there fucking around. And they said again, like, so this must have happened before, they're out there fucking around with him. Because Meryl is, I think, around the same age as Lionel. We kind of see him later, so they seem about the same, grew up together sort of thing. And so they in their house, getting, like, boots on and shit, shoes on, like, go handle these guys fucking around their farm. And they make a plan to run around in opposite directions around the house, acting all crazy to crawl them into the back all together to kick their ass in one spot or something like that. So,
it's fun to see Mel Gibson not just be a badass.
Yeah.
Like, he said to a little Christian boy, he's like, how do you curse?
He's like, what do you mean act crazy and shit? He's like, yeah, like cursing and stuff. He's like, oh, I don't curse. He's like, well, just do it, man. Like, basically, like, just come on. Like, it's for pretend. We're just trying to, scare him.
And every other movie, he's causing like a revolution.
He's fucking handling shit, for freedom and fucking.
It's a nice change. It's a nice, fun change of pace.
So they make a plan to run around opposite directions, and then you see the motion light go off, and he's like, all right, like, here we go. Basically, the motion light going off is like showing there's somebody outside fucking around. There's somebody moving around out there. So that's like one point, confirmation, something going on out there. So they count down to when they're going to run out. It's like 3, 2, 1, go. It's very comedic. Meryl wants off in the run direction, and then Graham was going to go off in that same one. He gets all twisted around and then turns to go his opposite direction of Meryl, and they're running around, and Meryl's like, I'm gonna kick your ass, bitch! Like, all fucking crazy. And Graham's like, I'm insane with anger! Just running around.
Yeah, like, very funny.
It's like, great comedic relief, but then as they're running around, Meryl sees, like, trash get knocked over by something that, we're clearly chasing and corralling to the other side of the house. And then Graham sees a silhouette, so he sees there's something clearly moving and running around. Like, so they both see something. They're both confirming something creepy's going on by seeing something, and then they meet at the other side of the house and they cross paths. Like, wait, I thought we were gonna see, something ahead of us, and it wasn't. And they cross paths. He's like, I cursed. He's like, I heard. That was a funny little part.
Well, I feel like it's like comforting through like a stressful thing. Like, a lot of times with a terrible event or something scary, all you can do is make jokes about it.
But as the audience, we're watching this, and it's giving us something to like laugh about. At the same time, it's giving us something to like, well, there really is something going on.
Yeah.
Well, we're like laughing because of the silliness of what they're doing, but they don't really know that. Like, they think it's some humans, but it's something more, and we know that, but they don't know that. So it's like it's building tension as it's like letting us like kind of laugh.
First people to see this, you might not know, especially back then. Like,
that's what I'm thinking. Like, I was the first time watching it, you're sitting there like, ha, laughing, but you know there's something creepy going on. Yeah. So it's just like it's building this tension as well as it's kind of like relieving some.
It's kind of a great...
It's just like this, like, you know, dual front of emotion coming at you, this, like, that are opposite emotions that are just hitting at the same time. I just thought the scene really made me feel some type of way. And
I think it's really cool because it's like setting up scarier stuff to happen, but it doesn't like fill up the scary cup.
Yeah.
Like it kind of like does
it just has a nice blended balance of like fear and fun all the same.
But you don't like come out of it being like scared or anything, really.
But you do, because like at this moment, because like, they run around, they meet together, and like so we're laughing as the audience again. Yeah. Like for them, they're tweaked out, but us as an audience, we're laughing because like they're just silly dialogue between them or what they were saying while they're running. They cross paths and even meet the things that they were seeing, you know, knock over the trash with a silhouette. They cross paths, and then all of a sudden they hear that thing on the roof, and they're like, "What the fuck?" Yeah. And I love both their expressions on their face. They're just both, like, just dumbfounded, bewildered, like, completely off guard, like, how the fuck? Uh-huh. It's something, like, we were just right there about to, like, you know, come up on, just leap on the roof in 1 second. You hear, like, a bunch of footfalls, like, around, so it's, like, quick foot movements and shit. And they're sitting there, son looking at the roof, and as they're looking at the roof, they hear that fucking, you know, noise behind them, and it's something hit the fucking swing that's going right next to the field. I don't know if they've ever seen any horror movies before, but, like, who puts a swing set next to a field? Them kids are gonna get snatched up by the children of the corn, some other witch from, like, the field, something, anything, come out of the field and snatch up some kids. That just doesn't seem safe. Yeah, they hear that shit hit the swing set, and they're like, how does something come off the roof, leap fucking 30 yards, and then scurry into the field before they could even see it? I just threw them all off, and they were freaking tweaking the fuck out. And I would have been too. Right, yeah. Rightfully so. They should have been.
I just think, like, for me, I came out of it just thinking more about the funny part, and I think it's kind of like a cool camouflage for the scary moment because, like, I think it makes the next moments, like, bigger.
Well, it does.
Because you haven't...
But it's still, like, it did, like, set up some...
No, I'm saying it's a great job, though. Yeah. Like, it does, like, it's setting stuff up so where it doesn't come out of nowhere, but it doesn't... Like, if it would have just been the alien scene without the funny stuff, then the alien stuff later would have not hit as hard.
If we just saw them, like, chasing around the house all serious, but the comedic stuff came from the dialogue, I'm gonna whoop your ass, bitch, and, like... Yeah. I'm gonna say anything, you're just like the silliness of that. Help you keep it tone up. I'm laughing, but also I'm like concerned. And then it goes from there's no more funny to concern when that thing's on the roof and then it leaped off. And that's just what threw them out. They're like, what the fuck was that just happened? So it's very intense all around. And so then it goes to the next morning. Officer Paskey is back. And she's talking to Morgan. You know, she's sitting on the table and Morgan's sitting there playing with her walkie-talkie. He's like, all right, you know, you could use a baby monitor for a walkie-talkie. Do you have an old one laying around? She's like, oh, yeah, I think like my sister, Bo has one, old one. So they're like, yeah, you can use that until I find some old one in the station that you guys can have. And then, you know, it shows Graham walking over to ask Bo to turn down the cartoons that she's watching in the other room.
Dexter's Laboratory!
While they're talking. Never watched the show. I've seen it like maybe twice and it wasn't,
Great show.
I was too old for that era.
Too cool for school.
Yeah, no, just probably too old. But they notice there's 3 cups of water sitting on top of the TV. It's like, what's the matter with these waters? She's like, oh, they're contaminated. He's like, well, what about this? Like this one. She has a reason for each one why they're contaminated.
And we gotta talk about this. Normal weird kid shit or M. Night Shyamalan weird kid shit?
I mean, it could go either way.
Yeah. But, like, I mean,
some kids just, like, are weird. Like, yeah.
Now, as the question is this movie, though, are the kids too weird? These are both weird. One of them is tripping balls, saying dreams, leaving cups of water all over the goddamn place. And then we got little Macaulay Culkin being kind of a dick. He's kind of mean to everybody in this movie.
Well, he's going through shit in a different way.
I'm just saying that...
I think you're being critical.
They're very weird. They're a little weird kids.
I don't think they're weird.
I think, is it okay to have 2 weird kids?
I don't think either one of them are weird.
I mean, pretty weird.
She's acting weird. Well, only because I missed that whole, like, dream thing in the beginning. Which is not going to play into some more shit. She had a tick. And he explains it out later. He's not weird. He's just shut in. He has to deal with his daddy that's all, like, sad. Yeah, like, his wife died. He has to deal with his mom dying. And he has to deal with his sister. You know, their mom died. And it's just, little boy's going through a lot.
All right, man.
So he goes to he's like, what's wrong with these waters? And at first we see, like, she has a thing with water in all these cups. And then Meryl and the cop lady are talking, and she asks, how's work at the gas station?
Riveting.
He says, like, work at the gas station is riveting, sarcastic as fuck, like he hates it. And she thinks it's a great thing, him moving back in after everything that happened. And that's a good thing. And he's like, well, not sure I'm helping much, but she assured him that he was. And And it shows Graham coming back to talk with Officer Paskey and Merrill at the table and notices 3 more glasses when he goes to pick those up and then notices 3 more glasses sitting somewhere else. He's
and
like,
I love his face.
And then he's just like, you know what, fuck it for now. I'll just like handle this later. Yeah.
God damn it.
I'll get to this later. and you know, returns to the table and they're getting back into what went down the previous night. And basically all they got is it was very dark. And she tries to go into get into more details and shit, and they're like, it was very dark. So the whole scene is, to me, hilarious. It's just kind of funny. It's just another good comic relief. They try to determine what it is that they saw, and she suggests that it could have been a woman, but Merrill doesn't think that's possible, and she goes in, why not? There are Olympian women that can, you know, run super fast, and there's a Scandinavian woman that can jump clean over me, and Merrill just retorts like, besides the fact of this being some Scandinavian Olympian running around.
Besides this being like, no, like Graham's like, I see what you're doing, but what's your point?
Yeah, and she's like, the point is.
And then I got,
that's like right after this part.
We're going to play some role play, alright? I'm going to read it in my Southern Belle, because this is exactly what she says, by the way. When Graham's like, what's your point? An out-of-town woman yesterday afternoon and started yelling and cussing because they didn't have her favorite cigarettes at the vending machine. She scared a couple of the customers. No one's seen her since. And then the next thing I said at the very next scene, or, you know, in the same scene, is my point is, we don't know anything about the person you saw. And we should keep all possibilities available.
Yeah.
Now let me ask to the court, does out-of-town woman, if you took that out, we just take that out, and Merrill or Graham says, like, what's the point? My point is, literally, what's my point? He says, and then she could have just responded, my point is, we don't know anything about the person you saw, and we should keep all possibilities available. Yeah. That makes perfect fucking sense by itself. It makes astronomical sense.
She's trying to justify, like, this woman aspect. Because he's, you know.
But we don't need this. This is a paragraph.
And that's why Merrill gets sassy. And he's just like, retorts like, besides the fact that it's a Scandinavian Olympian woman that was running around our house last night in the middle of the night, what else could be a possibility? Yeah, it could be a woman, but it's just like, it's just kind of stretching it for the abilities that were exhibited. Like, even for, like, a man, anybody, any human, really. You know, this was kind of strange last night. But then Bo comes up to the table and asks Graham, like, where's the TV remote? And he says, like, I don't know, honey, check the couch cases or something. And goes back to talking with Merrill and Paskey. She doesn't appreciate Merrill's sarcasm. And he apologizes, like, I'm sorry, it's just, you know, like, I'm pretty fast, pretty strong guy, and this person was just messing with us. And, you know, just had him shook. Bo comes back to the table and said, there's nothing but food under the couch. And Graham was just like, why don't you just turn the knob on the computer, or on the TV? And to you youngins, back in the day, there used to be knobs on TVs where you just selected the very small number of channels that the knob would be able to reach. Usually up to like 20 or so.
Well, those 32. Are still on TVs, but they're putting really fucking stupid
now they're just buttons and they're not knobs.
Yeah,
but before they were just knobs.
Yeah, but there's still, I need to do this rant where it's like, the modern TVs are always put them in fucking stupid spots, like in the very middle. Yeah, I gotta finger my TV to fucking change the channel. Yeah. It's outrageous.
But back in the day, there was knobs, and you turn the knobs before, like, remotes were there, or, like, if you lost your remote. She's like, well, I tried to turn the knobs with the same things on every station.
And you know that's like some 9/11 shit's going down. Yeah,
some
shit's going down.
Some world eventful shit. Everything's on the same channel, and that's just like the whole dun 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 moment. They all get up to check out the TV. And
really awesome news segment.
Yeah,
I
and we see
the news segment.
The crop circles on the TV, and this news reporter guy, and it says Richard Kidman narrating like what's going on in the newscast. And I looked it up. It's just, I don't know, some random name they picked up. I thought it might have been an ode to somebody, like some UFOologist, something like that. Nothing I found to the name Richard Kidman. But either way, it was on TV and explaining like the crop circle phenomenon. The guy says that like, they're popping up more and more around the world recently. And is it some elaborate hoax or is it for real? Paskey and Graham, after that, like go outside and they're talking, and she says she looked into the crop circles after his field got into, and she's like, you know, 2 or 3 guys can make a design like his in his field in a single night. But she's still aware, like, how the crops, blend over perfectly and stuff. So she just took that into consideration. She's like, well, I gotta go get me some fresh coffee from so-so's coffee and I'll feel better. And she just gives Graham a suggestion like, hey, your family's been through a lot. The last thing you and your kids need is to worry about some crazy stuff going on in the world right now. Take them into town, go have some fun, everybody needs to get their minds off things for a little while. He's like, yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Thank you for your suggestion, blah, blah. And she goes like, you take care of yourself, wink, like Graham. So, I don't know if she winked, but it kind of sounded like wink, wink, Graham.
Yeah, I thought that was like some weird...
a little sassy engagement of her, yeah.
Yeah. Well, they are. Yeah, they seem like they're similar ages, so.
They're similar ages. Like, oh, I know you lost your wife and you've been lonely the last 6 months.
Yeah,
like,
I can help you raise those little kids, yeah.
You got, I can come out and make more regular visits, off hours.
Also, the scene of her leaving is, like, really awesome, where it's her, like, driving away and it's, like, zooming out.
Yeah, like, through, like, the house and everything.
And the music's going off, and the report is, like,
and it's, like, everything, the fucking, I think, window chimes kind of going off, or the wind chimes going off. Yeah, it's really
beautiful.
It just created like an atmosphere, like it's almost felt like tangible. You could like feel it. I really liked it. I'm glad you pointed that out, Jake, because I thought the same exact thing. And so the fam heads into town. Oh, the next scene, and Morgan, on the way in, Morgan's in the back, the kids in the back seat, Meryl and Graham are up front. Graham's driving, and Morgan in the back is like asking, hey, can you turn on the radio? Graham flips it on, and they hear a radio reporter talking about how there are signs and they're intended to be seen from the sky. And Graham just starts flipping it off like, no radio for a while, just for a while. They get to town, and I like the shot where it's like overhead, following the car, going into the town. I like how they did it with the music playing, all that shit. They get to town, they all get out of the car. Graham gives Morgan book money, and Morgan and Bo head off down the street, bookshop or whatever shop. In the store, the owner, is going off, this old dude, and he's like, it's all a gimmick to sell soda. I've seen 12 commercials so far this morning selling soda as they're talking about all this alien stuff. It's all just a big thing to get us to buy soda. And Morgan goes up and asks, like, hey, you guys got any UFO books? He's like, oh, you're not into this BS, are you?
And that guy, I want to talk about the soda conspiracy because, I think it could be done. If you had East Soda Company buy a bunch of, hooligans, eat all these different places, paid them.
I mean, the scale they're getting to, that'd be pretty extreme. But
I'm just let's just play around with it. This is when we have my sandbox, alright?
Okay.
So,
damn.
You get a bunch of mercenary hooligans from, the three big soda companies. You split it up through a bunch of shell corporations, alright? You get all these dudes across the world to flag some things in the same way.
Yeah,
and then you buy you tell ABC, I will buy all your ads for double the price on this day.
Yeah.
And you have them all three
I totally can see how it can be totally done. I'm sure they're feasible.
They never got found out.
It helps play to the whole, especially on that large of a scale across multi-nations and all that shit. That'd be quite an undertaking for a gimmick to sell sodas when sodas just sell themselves most of the time anyway.
Yeah, no, you don't really need to
do we need all these commercials with Pepsi? Dude, I'm going to drink Pepsi. We all drink Pepsi. I don't need some pretty girl doing something crazy.
You know why they do it?
On a rocket or something like that.
You see that?
Oh, Pepsi.
You see a Pepsi and you're like, fuck, I kind of want a Pepsi now. That's what it is.
Well,
that's what they do.
The only commercials that ever get me are Reese's peanut butter commercials.
Oh, they get me all the time.
Almost every time I'm going out and get a Reese's peanut butter. I'm super susceptible to their marketing campaign.
If I could eat Reese's, I would.
That's the only one that gets me. In video games too. Some of their ads, I'm like, what? And then I'll go buy it. But anyway, I'm right there with you. It's very feasible. Get him in. But then Morgan asked if there's any UFO books. The wife of the owner, she's like, oh, yeah, actually, we got mailed one by mistake once. It's over on this shelf, on this row, down on this whatever side. I'm like, oh, just happenstance a book that you fucking accidentally got. But you know exactly where it is. And, I don't know. It just kind of seemed convenient.
That's is that some weird M. Night Shyamalan shit? I feel like she should have just been it's at the end of the row over there.
Yeah, I think we have an extra one. It might be over there. You know? I think it's over here.
That's some
here's the exact GPS fucking point of it.
It's on 5.3.
Yeah, it's the 53rd book in on the second row down from the left. What? No. I think it might be over there. Check the whatever section. I don't know. I just thought that was a little too exact on. Then it goes to Graham back in the drugstore, and he's getting Morgan's ass with medicine. You can hear the radio talking about signs and how people are on the verge of mass hysteria. And then Tracy, played by Merritt Weaver. Merritt Weaver. Well, yeah, she's one of the finest ladies in Hollywood, in my opinion. She was in The Walking Dead. Great, excellent there. Loved her there, too. Moving on. she's a lady behind the counter, and she's addressing him as father, and he tries to check her on that, like, hey, I want to address me as father. I haven't been a father for 6 months. But she has, like, a breakdown, because she thinks it's the end of the world. A lot going on, I just want to confess some things. He's like, I'm not a father. Haven't been for 6 months. But she begs, because she needs to clear her conscience. And then all of a sudden it cuts to Meryl.
Well, but I just love the look on his face of just like, fuck me, dude.
Fuck my life. Here we go.
I regret every decision I've ever made that led me to this point.
Yeah. He's like, shit. And he's too nice guy to just be like, just give me my meds and like walk away.
Dude, I would be raging if I was him. Because like, when I have to
I just like, listen, give me my meds and I'll just walk away.
Listen, give me... I was waiting for a big long thing. Like,
nope. Listen. Give me my meds, and I'll just walk away. But it cuts to Meryl in this, Army recruiter's office, and the recruiter claims to have it all figured out.
I got it figured.
Yeah, I got it figured. Meryl's like, what? This is all just basically a scouting force of a larger invasion. And the way he, like, says it all, I was, like, quite eerie.
Really cool voice. If
yeah,
you could give
cool
a guy
voice.
An Oscar.
It's like, it kind of reminds me of, who's that dude? Christopher Walken. You know how Christopher Walken talks?
Oh, I'm
so
Christopher Walken.
So, yeah, that recruiter's voice gave me, like, a Christopher Walken vibe. Just, it's kind of cadenced, and the way his face is very, like, deadpan.
Really creepy vibes, cool dude.
Yeah, the whole scene's quite eerie.
Also, he just kind of drops that a little bit. I guess Meryl asked, right?
Yeah,
Meryl asked.
So, like, he finishes it. The recruiter recognizes him from a few minor league baseball games he went to as Merle Hess. Like, it's like, you hit the home run record. I was there when you hit that 507-yard hit. That thing had a motor on it. He's just blown away. You have 2 minor league home records, don't you? He's like, I have 5. He's like, dang, why don't you, live in the high lives playing in the big leagues, getting your toes licked by beautiful women?
And that guy would be a toe guy. He would be a foot.
Yeah, just right. This strange man, of course, would be some wannabe toe lick, guy. But hey, to each their own. I
don't care.
You get your freak on, man. Get it. Before Meryl can respond to what happened, why he's not a pro, Lionel, that we've heard about, talks out of nowhere, like he's been, like he came out of nowhere, but been sitting there for a while filling out some form or something.
Lionel ain't joined the military.
Maybe just had nothing to do that day. He's out there just filling in papers or something. I don't know. Yeah, it seemed weird. And like he's dressed as like your everyday greaser from back in the day, film shit. He informs the recruiter that Meryl has another record that most people don't know about, and he has the minor league strikeout record. He had more strikeouts than any 2 players.
Which is wild.
He's like, you just go up there and swing about as hard as you could. It's like a lumberjack chopping wood. And Meryl responds, felt wrong not to swing.
And then he does that as he like almost punches.
I felt like when he said that though, it felt wrong to swing. Just in the minor leagues trying to go pro, you gotta be strategic, pick your pitches and shit. But just for him just swinging that thing, knowing if he does touch that ball, he's probably gonna knock it out. Yeah, then he flexes on Lionel. Lionel punches like a bitch. Everybody has a good giggle. We go back to the shop where the kids are, and Bo's drinking water at the shop with the old lady, and she says, it's contaminated. And the old lady's yelling to her husband, like, hey, there's something wrong with that water. And Ward's like, it's not. Your water's fine. My sister just has a tick. It's not a tick, but she's had it forever since she was born. She just has to think about her drinking water. And I'm pretty sure it's the same flower-decorated cups as they have at home. I don't know if you noticed that. But I'm pretty sure it's like the same exact cups at home. Maybe their shop has more than books and they sell the same cups. Notice that little detail. I didn't know if that was something important or what. I don't know. I just noticed it.
Maybe they bought the cups there, yeah.
And then the old man out of nowhere is just like, 13 soda commercials. I just thought that was, again, the whole movie, M. Night does a great job of setting up tension and scary, eerie drama stuff, and then a good laugh. Just a ha-ha moment. But he doesn't overdo it at all. I feel like it's very well balanced.
Yeah, and I feel like you should always have, like, elements of other movies. Like, I think there should be humorous moments in almost, like, any movie. Like, even, like, dark movies, like the kid in the one about the 2 kids in the Holocaust, there's, like, funny moments of them hanging out and stuff. But you know what I mean? Like, you have elements of other types of genres. And I feel like they did a good job of mixing it in this, where, like, people...
Just mixing 2 different vibes in together.
Because people aren't just flat like that. That's a depressing world.
Yeah, and like as an audience member, you're just going for such a ride. And it goes back to Graham in the pharmacy, still waiting for his meds from Tracy as she's confessing like all of her sins and just like holding up Graham and another guy in line.
And he does that funny thing where he like looks over his shoulder like...
Yeah, like this guy kind of like, what's going on in front of me? And she's confessing her sins just about some dumbass shit, like how many times she's cursed in the last few weeks and this and that.
I love how she knows how many times she said...
Yeah, and like, oh, well, is this a curse word? It's like, it depends how you use it. Like, if I use like this, if someone says a douchebag, is that me? It's like, yes. And it's like, well, okay, it's not 31. It's not 34. It's not 38. It's 71. It's like, damn, you strange lady.
That's weird to know that off the top of your head.
You're gorgeous, but you're strange. Right up my alley. What's up? And then it cuts to Graham walking into the pizza shop.
No one hanging out with Tracy.
They're already, the kids and Meryl already eating pizza and stuff, so he'd been in there a minute. Like, waiting on Tracy to do all of her shit. Because they're supposed to meet up in like 15 minutes. But, like, clearly, that time had elapsed. He goes in there and he's like, I don't want any of you ever spending time with Tracy Abernathy alone. And they're all just looking like, okay. And then they see M. Night Shyamalan walking up to his car, like, walking on the sidewalk to his car.
This is wild, this shot. It feels like an Avion commercial. Where everybody's like, they're out of breath. Like, oh my god, who is that?
Oh, just like, because they see everybody, like, the family sees everybody else, so the family, like, noticing. And then Morgan's like, is that him? And Meryl's like, yeah. And Bo's like, who's that? Graham and Ray make eye contact. And then just Ray just gets back in his car and, like, drives off, all speeding off crazy. Graham just goes pick up slice pizza and starts eating. Well, everybody else is still staring. I thought that was kind of a little weird. I thought they all went back to eating, but they're all
weird.
Staring.
The whole scene's weird.
And they didn't, they didn't tell him who it was. They just moved along.
But it seems like he's like an amazing...
Oh, they didn't tell Bo who it was. They just moved along.
He's like, wow, that's him. Oh my god, that's the Messiah.
It's been 6 months. They haven't crossed paths yet. I'm pretty sure that was like the first time they crossed paths since, the incident.
It just seems off. It just seemed like an off vibe.
Too bad.
I did it. And it's funny too, is he's the director, so it's like, oh my god.
Oh look, like he has a cameo in all of his movies, though.
Oh my god, do you see that? Do you see the director?
It's cool though, because he does a cameo in all of his movies, and he does a great job. And his fucking monologue, or like the whole scene between him and Graham later is phenomenal.
I'm not talking about that though. I'm not talking about that monologue. I'm talking about this weird.
But the way, because it's something. The dude who killed the mother of y'all family and shit. Oh my god. That's something to be like, oh, is that him? And it's just like a thing. It's gonna be a thing. It's gonna be a moment.
Oh my god, Dax, do you see that?
Why do I have to, I don't know. I didn't think we're gonna, see things so differently on this movie, but apparently we are, and you're just, I think, being silly.
Do you see that guy? Do you see how awesome and cool?
Not awesome and cool, like, oh, that's the guy that killed our mother.
Didn't get that vibe at all. That's what
I got.
I was like, I thought they were in awe.
Let us know what you think, fans, cause... Am I being just ridiculous, or is he?
Team Z or Team W?
Ooh, yeah. You're not gonna be too happy when I think you get those results in, but we'll see. Maybe I'll be shut down.
No, I think you're gonna get shut down.
Seriously doubt it. We'll see. We'll see. So it goes to them going back home, and they pull up to the house, and the baby monitor's going off in Morgan's pocket, because, he grabbed it as a walkie-talkie he was gonna play with. And it goes off, and Morgan thinks it might be them. The little noise, they're picking up in little clicks and stuff. So Meryl kind of loses it and goes off on how it's all just nerds making shit up.
Multi-generational nerds.
So hang on, I got the quote here. Yeah. So Meryl goes off. This crop stuff is just about a bunch of nerds who never had a girlfriend their whole lives. They're like 30 now. They make up secret codes and analyze Greek mythology and make secret societies where other guys who never had girlfriends can join in. They do stupid crap like this to feel special. It's a scam. Nerds were doing it 25 years ago, and new nerds are doing it again. And Graham says, it's just static, Morgan, frequency. And then more weird nerds come over with the baby monitor, and Morgan's like, it's a code. And Bo's like, why can't they get girlfriends?
I love that. Why can't they get girlfriends? Yeah.
So they're just, I don't know, eventually...
That's an adorable little... Why can't they get girlfriends?
So they turn it up a bit, and hear strange clicking and noises and whatnot. They decide to get out of the car.
And the walkie-talkie stuff is great.
And then so they get out of the car, and as the doors open, they hear a little more, a clear signal shit. And it clears up a bit, and they're like, oh, dang. they try to rationalize it a bit more, but Meryl wants to see it. Like, let me see it. And so Graham passes it over to him over the top of the car, and as they like meet together in the middle, grab hold of it, both of them, you really hear like a huge moan and clear sound of clicking and moaning from the monitor. So they're like just made some kind of arcing thing to get a good signal. Everyone's all stunned. And Graham's like, okay, I'm done with this. I'm letting go now. And then Meryl's like, don't lose the signal. I just love the look on Joaquin's face. It was like fucking perfect. Like, please don't. You're hearing this too. Come on, man. Like, I don't know. I feel like you can read a lot off his face, and it was fucking great. And so Morgan comes around and is like, it gets clearer the higher, you hold it. So he goes and like starts hopping on the car. And then Bo starts hopping up there too, and they're like, I don't know, good dad is just like, all right, it's like, I'm supporting my kids, like, help them get up on top of the thing, which I thought was cool. And so they're all like, Morgan's up on top, holding it up high, and they're all like supporting each other, holding it up. I felt like it was the people on, what's that island we took over? Iwo Jima?
Iwo Jima, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and so it just kind of reminded me of that whole Iwo Jima thing. They're all the ground all the way up, everyone's chained together to help raise this thing up. Then you hear like a conversation going on between two aliens, just like moaning and clicking.
And it's so well done, I feel like.
Oh, yeah. The sound of it, everything with like a little music mixed in, and just how they filmed it, the shot, everything. It just felt, again, it's very gravity of a situation, the weight of it. I don't know. It's very, you just feel it. You're not just watching the movie, you're experiencing it, I think. A lot. And so, hearing all this conversation between the two aliens, and all of a sudden, the transmission like just ends. I feel like they're like, oh shit, I hear, like, humans are on the line. Shit, cut that off, motherfucker. And they like cut off the conversation. It just ends. I'm just trying to imagine the
you hear that goddamn monkey
things.
You mean they have fucking radios?
They have radios. They can tap into our features and shit. Yeah, apparently they call it a baby monitor. I don't know what the fuck that is, but like, it's some high tech.
What the fuck is this baby?
Yeah. So, it goes later in the night. The other dog's out there tripping dicks. Just barking in the direction of the cornfield. And Graham's like going out there to get the dog some food or something like that. Notices the dog tripping towards the field. He's like, I think the dog's name is Isabel?
Isabel, yep.
He's like, Isabel, you're going to feel real silly.
Yeah.
When this all turns out to be make-believe. And he gets all ballsy, he grabs a flashlight and goes into the cornfield.
Dude,
like,
he is saying
check it out.
For like his own sanity.
Yeah. Right? And like, because he's about to go do some typical white people shit. And like going to a goddamn cornfield by themselves. I'm sorry.
Die.
I'm calling that. It's some white people 101 and horror movie bullshit. Like, I'm going out here and it ain't nothing.
Well, they aren't ever going to die first.
Yeah, yeah, they know. It's good.
But also, like, Isabel getting scared is, like, horrifying. Like, the dog's, like, freaking the fuck out.
Like, and like, in any horror situation or anything, the animals will tell you first. Always, like, watch the animals. When they start fucking up, that's when you start fucking getting worried. So, he got his flashlight, goes out into the cornfield. A few rows in, you hear some clicking for a second. Continues to keep walking, though, until he hits the crop circle. He's out there again. He starts shouting to whoever might be out there that they ain't gonna get famous for messing around, and they just need to fuck off, basically. Like, they're not gonna get famous, they're not gonna gain anything from it. Because he's still trying to convince himself, I think, that there's humans doing all this, and it's not him. So then he starts heading back. He's looking a mite, shook, though, still.
We get this really cool aerial shot, though, of, like, his flashlights there. Like, he's shining around the crop circle.
Yeah,
and it's, like, super high up. And I'm like, I just love that shot. It's just...
And then turns to go back toward the house. He's going through the corner rows, and he comes to like a wide, empty row section, and hears the clicking again. And it startles him, and he drops his flashlight, and it cuts off. And when he's trying to sit there tap, he gets it going, and it lights up, and then he pans around to look, and he sees this like leg turn and go like into the rows. And that shakes him, and he gets his ass up and just goes hauling ass down that, empty rows, like runs back to the house. And he gets inside, and he goes and sits at the table, shook.
Whoa, let's calm down here. The leg scene fucked me up for decades.
Really?
For decades? Yeah, because I saw it when I was like 8 or younger. And I'm like, you see the little leg pop out. And it's like the first time you really get to see an alien. And it's like, when's, cornfield, leg,
You know what's freaky, though? Freakier than that?
What?
You remember when I told you at the farm when I saw, like, that leg on a upstairs thing when I came out of the bathroom downstairs? But through the banister upstairs on the hallway? And I saw, like, a leg walking? I saw that shit before I seen this movie. I'm pretty sure.
No.
It looked like this similar, very gray leg. It sounded like more watery sounded when it stepped. It's very creepy, horrifying. I was out there by myself at the farm during the middle of the day too, which is more fucked up.
Yeah.
And I ran out freaking out because I knew I was the only one at the farm. But I clearly heard, I saw the leg turn and walk away, just like that leg turn and like step. I saw that, and then I heard the footsteps slashing footsteps heading around the corner, like toward where the attic steps are and shit. And I was just like, I'll never forget that. I grabbed my shit and ran out the door. I was fucking terrified.
And that house was huge, so that's
no, this is the White House.
Oh, the White House.
Yeah, where you're in right now, dog.
I know.
Mm-hmm. When I was coming out the bathroom and up the stairs, the banister, up in the hallway.
I'm waiting. I'm like, come out.
Oh, dude. So, that's fun.
Also, I want to talk a little bit, like, this is where I brought up, where it's like, what type of horror is this? Because it's not, to me, it's not your typical horror. There's not...
It's just suspense drama.
It's suspense, yeah. Like, it's like scientific, like a sci-fi...
It's a sci-fi horror suspense thriller.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's like, I think that really makes it a kind of a unique horror movie where, like, the other ones are, like, paranormal or...
Well, I mean, there's... Alien... Or Aliens, all that shit. That's kind of a horror film. The Thing is an alien horror film.
But, like this is
fucking Body Snatchers.
I guess they
Body Snatchers. Fucking, they're all horror, sci-fi horrors. So, it's genre bending, we'll call it.
Yeah.
So, he's in there tripping, and all the family notices, and they go up and talk to him, and he's like, I think it's time to turn on the TV. And now they've been in the dark all fucking day, and he just saw that shit, he's like, alright, let's turn on the TV, see what's going on.
So it's like head broken. Like everybody's just
he's shook now. Like he's like, let's just like I'm gonna get some info. Fuck it, because without the TV, I'm still shook without the TV. Like how much more shook? How much more shook can I get? Yeah, right. Let's just fucking let the floodgates open. Let's see what happens. So they like turn on the TV, and the TV shows there are lights over every major city across the globe.
And this is where I shit myself. This is where I'm like, we're fucked. So like this is over.
Like, this would be so surreal, like, to be in this situation. It'd be so fucking epic.
I would be, I'm, like, I don't know. We're just, And it would be like that scene in Arrival where, like, the college campuses are empty. Like, just nobody's there. Like, nobody's
vacant out.
Nobody's going to work.
It's almost like when COVID struck. It's just like, everything's like, really? Like, this is all really happening. Remember, I didn't believe, like, really? It's going to be some other thing where they're just going to get everybody scared, but that's going to happen. And like, the NBA shut down. What? Like, that's like, it's just getting really crazy, like, surreal now. So there's lights over in major city across the globe. And then, Morgan's just like, we got to videotape this. The future's going to want to know about this, and we're going to, like, show your kids where you were, what you saw when all this happened, because it's going to make history. It's like everything you ever knew in history books of science are going to change. He pulls the videotape, and it's Bo's ballerina recital. He's like, trying to convince her, like, this is important. We're just going to record over it. Fuck your thing. Yeah, like, fuck your recital. Like, we got to record this history. Bo was like, no, this is my dance recital. And he's like, Dad. And she's like, find another fucking tape, boy. And so he gets up and finds one. He's like, Uncle Merrill, I'm using your tape. And it's, what is this?
Swimsuit? Yeah, swimsuit. Swimsuit special.
Yeah, swimsuit special. That is, again, super tense shit. Really eerie stuff. Makes a comic relief. Just the way they balance it out is fucking great throughout the whole movie. And so they're watching the news together until the kids fall asleep. And Meryl and Graham are having this deep conversation on the couch about, like, if it's the end of the world or not. Meryl wants comfort, like when Graham used to be, pastor, and when he had his wife and he was just more present and able to give his little brother comfort. Graham goes off on this big, long monologue.
Wild. This feels like an acid trip.
It's so long.
It's freaky because he's just like intense 10 out of 10.
In the way it's like being described out, you can like vision it in your head. Yeah.
And then you cut to Meryl, who looks like horrified. Yeah. Like, he looks like, dude, are you tripping?
Like, I just need some comfort, and you're just like going off on some crazy shit, and I'm like, I just needed something chill.
It's wild. It's a wildly shot, crazy scene. It makes me laugh every time because I'm just like so caught off guard. It's such a unnatural human thing going on. It's weird.
So he goes off on that monologue. He breaks people down in like two groups. Basically, either you see the lights and you're afraid, or you see the lights and think of it as a miracle. And Meryl shares the story of how he was at a party with this chick, and they're about to start making out and stuff, but he goes to take out his gum, and when he turns to take out his gum, the chick pukes all over herself, and if he had turned to put his gum out, he could have been kissing her, and she'd just thrown up all on him, and he might not have recovered, because that would have just been horribly traumatic. And I'm like, I get you, bro. That would have been pretty fucked. So he's like, I'm a miracle man. That was a miracle. He asked Graham what he is, and he asked him, do you feel comforted? Like, it's after he got done telling the story, he kind of joked about it and felt better, and Graham basically gives him a look like, yeah. So that's what and Graham tells him the last thing his wife told him before she died to swing away. It was just like a random memory that she had while her brain was firing off different stuff. Different memories, and just like picking on that, so like swing away. And so,
what is a wild...
basically Graham just ends it up to like, there's nobody looking out for us, we're all on our own. So like, he's not a miracle man, or like, in fear, he's just like, we're just fucked. Like, everything's fucked.
Did you feel better? As like, what does it matter?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I think about this line, like, or this concept all the time of like, when you read a fake story on social media, like, there's so much fake news and stuff, but if it's like, say it's like a harmless little story about a panda or something.
I feel good or something like that, or
like
something inspiring. Even though I'm like, this might be fake, but I'm going to upload it so maybe more people will see this. Like, this
and what if that, like, changes?
I don't care if AI made it up, whatever.
Yeah, like, what if somebody changed their lives and like had this huge butterfly effect, and it's like, who cares if it's true if it got you?
I don't care if it was some bot wrote it up, AI, whatever, some fucking whatever it is. I don't give a shit. If
it makes the world a little bit better place, who cares?
If it's a positive fucking thing, I'm uploading it, trying to share it off. I don't give a fuck. Yep. The next scene, it goes to the memory of the night his wife died, and it's Graham pulling up to the scene of like this vehicle collision. He heard it was some drunk driver, but he's talking to Officer Paskey, and she says it wasn't a drunk driver, that the driver fell asleep at the wheel. And he asked if the driver was okay, and he's like, that's the first thing your wife asked too. Which is like, just kind of goes to show they're just good, like, people. Clearly his wife's in a desperate situation, bad off, and got hit by this guy, but they both ask, is the other guy okay? Just good people. And he's all dressed in like his priest outfit and everything like that. Pastor outfit, and he goes to ask, like, which ambulance is she in? Paskey goes, like, she's not in an ambulance, Father. And then it cuts to him waking up on...
But is that the time where she explains the whole thing?
No, that's right there. I was, like, very pointed on just what was in that, like, scene, because we'll fill it in later. Like, so that's
to talk about the rest of the car accident, it's just very beautifully shot.
The whole way, like, how they just, like, they pieced it to you in between a few other scenes, and like just get a little more.
Give you enough
until they reveal at the very end of the movie, get the last bit of it, and then. When we get all the information, it all makes sense and all ties together. I think it's done pretty well. Bravo, M. Night, one of my favorites. I love you, bro.
What the twist?
So he's like, she's not in any ambulance, Father. Then it cuts to him waking up on the couch. Nobody's around, but there's an extension cord leading into the closet. And it's Meryl in the closet watching the news because the kids wouldn't stop watching it, so he like made them go out because they should be like, doing kid shit instead of watching all the craziness on TV. But he is, and he's looking pretty nutty while he's doing it.
I love how and he's like, I took it away so the kids don't get obsessed. And
he's obsessed,
yeah. Which is so funny.
Yeah, it's great. And he fills them in on like what's been going on. Meryl fills Graham in on what's been going on. The lights have been gone during the day, but they realized that it's just invisible because some bird had blown into it and died gliding into it.
How horrifying. Yeah,
so like they're still there, even though you can't see them.
I'm just shitting myself. It is a constant stream of diarrhea.
Because that'd just be some pretty... I would be like extra geeked and thrilled.
I would be so underground.
I'm like, finally, shit's breaking like the normal flow of now. I'd be so stoked. He just kind of continues on rambling on about the different things that are happening. Graham just walks away, but Meryl continues. Maybe the crop circles were just markings to coordinate the lights that they see in the sky as a map marker to show where the rest of them to show up and go to. It cuts away from that real quick, but that's just like he's dropping a hint that come up later. Then it goes to him. Then it goes to Graham checking on the kids. And
but then he has that fun line in the closet where it's like he just turns like, makes sense. Like I love that. Like
it's just like it's like
fuck you.
Yeah, the coordinate, like they're coordinating. They're using the signs to coordinate the lights. It's like it makes sense. Yep. Yeah, it goes to Graham checking on the kids, and they're checking out that book that they got from the store. And they're wearing tinfoil hats, which is fucking great. Classic conspiracy theory, nutty shit, tinfoil hat wear. And They got the book, like, all marked up. You see all the little fucking sticky notes out the side, shit, like, fucking, little Morgan's out research, like, he's on it.
And then I love this, like, when the dad picks it up or whatever, and he's like, if you're gonna make fun of it, then forget it.
And he's like, Doctor, what's his, Bimbo? He's like, Bimbo? And he's like, Dad! He's like, you're just make fun of it, then forget it. He's like, oh, I'm so sorry. And Bo's just like, this is serious. Get the fuck with it, Dad.
And then I were like, Graham should have said, shut up, you McCoy Culkin little bitch. I didn't know that.
You want to be home alone, motherfucker?
Yeah.
I'll leave you tomorrow.
I'll give them their address. I'll give like 4
I'll go to France right now, motherfucker. You handle these animals on your own. Alright, so he sits down with the kids and they're going through the book. Morgan starts to fill in Graham on what he found out in the book, and it says it gives 2 reasons why they might be here to invade. 1, for exploration, just to like want to learn more about other species and shit like that in the galaxy, in the universe. Or 2, domination, because they use up all their resources and they think, our planet has what they need. And they flip the page, so Graham starts flipping the pages, going through it, and it goes to a house that's being lasered by a UFO, and it looks a lot like their house.
And our house growing up.
And our house growing up. Not even.
Scarring.
Yeah.
Scarring.
I'm pretty sure it's like, I go into it here in a little bit later about their house and shit, or the fun facts at the end, so.
It's fun for them to be like, that looks like our house.
Yeah.
He said the same exact, that looks like our house.
Yeah, it does. And then it goes like, there's bodies out in the yard laying there.
And there's exactly like
yeah,
their
it's dad and
family.
2 kids. And
dude, you gotta be like horrified at that point.
Yeah.
Like,
so they're all looking at that and like, he's like, looks like our house. And they all kind of notice that there's 3 people and are like, oh. And then the phone rings and they all jump. He's like, I think that's enough for Dr. Bimbo right now. And like, why don't you guys go eat some fruit or something? Like, that's just so fucking great. Like, just go eat some fruit or something.
It's like a dad thing
yeah,
to say.
I don't know if it's going to do any good, but it can't hurt nothing. He goes to get the phone, and on the other end, he hears father, and then nothing, and the phone cuts out. It says he's going to Ray Reddy's house, because he might have just tried to call here. While he's getting his coat from the closet, that fucking Meryl's still in, watching the shit, and then Meryl leans out like, you going to Ray Reddy's house? All confused looking. So he goes over to Ray Redding's, which is M. Night, that we saw from earlier at Pizza Shop. And then it goes to like this small scene with Bo and Morgan, like upstairs looking through a telescope, and Morgan's not seeing anything, just put clouds and shit in the sky. But I just thought this is like my first scene.
You're gonna die.
Yeah, just like, I don't want anything bad to happen to you. He's like, who said anything's gonna bad happen to me?
The writers of this movie.
I had this dream or whatever, and it just seemed out of place, and I didn't know about this dream thing beforehand that you pointed out earlier, so now this might have a little more.
Yeah, I don't.
But it's not really. I'm trying to piece it in right now. It's like, it's not really hitting.
It should have just been cut out.
It should have just been cut out.
Yeah.
Like, it's like 10, 15 seconds of this little just shit scene.
Because the dream never like.
Yeah, never really
like. Big reveal.
I had a big, reveal, like, oh, there's this dream where we didn't see a sequence of her in a dream, seeing, like, different parts of this, and it all coming to, there's just, I don't know.
They could have done like a Super Mario Bros. 3 thing where it's like Mario wakes up at the end and the whole game was a dream. They could have done that with this movie.
Well,
anything.
if I understood the reference, I might agree to you, but
well, the whole idea is that the whole game is just a dream. So he like wakes up at the very end of the game.
Yeah, which I hate, like, episodes of TV or movies about that because it makes the whole episode or movie
never happened.
Like, inconsequential. It doesn't make it just, So, either way, they just flopped on that one. Terrible little scene. Sorry. I love this movie, but that kind of was why I have a certain rating for it.
Also, if anybody finds that house, like the picture of it, let me know. I'm trying to find it. It'd be cool to have it on our wall, you know what I mean? Hey, look at it. Instead of having like a beautiful like farmhouse on the wall, it'd be like, oh, there's our house getting exploded by aliens. Huh?
Right.
Anybody finds that, we'll put it in the Patreon. Or
I think I remember noticing that like way back in the day when I was like still living in the house watching the movie. I was like, it kind of looks like our house. Anyway. Pretty like an old, like just kind of standard farmhouse Victorian era.
Yeah.
Fucking shit. So it goes to Ray's house, or we're at Ray's house, and Graham knocks on the door, but nobody answers. He goes around the side of the house, looks through the window, and sees that there's like been some sort of a struggle inside. And like, he turns around.
And this is really coolly shot.
Yeah.
This whole little sequence.
And he goes around, like, from inside the house, we see, through the window, him turn around and look at SUV parked, out there, and he sees Ray inside.
And what a cool, because you would think the attention would be the house with all, it's like a disheveled thing, and you hear the noise, but then it's like, oh shit, the guy's out there.
You're gonna draw him out. You're gonna draw him out instead of what's going on in the house first. Find Ray outside the house. What's going on there? Because clearly something happened inside. Well, he's out here safe. Okay, so
that's just really cool.
It's first off, you're like, oh shit, is he dead inside there? What happened? But no, he all right. He out there, in his car, about to.
This is a very fun way to do that.
He goes out to the, he walks across the yard to talk to Ray out in the street, walks up to the passenger side door and talks through the window of the SUV, but he sees a bunch of stuff, packed all in his truck, he's gearing up for, a trip. He's out of it. And Ray's clearly distraught, and then it seems like some shock, and there's some blood on his jacket. He's all disoriented and shit. Ray starts talking, he's like, I've had your number for 6 months on my dresser. I was just trying to think of any way to call you, what to say to you or anything like that. But then when I caught this thing in my house, I panicked. I didn't know who else to call, and I called your number. You thanked him for coming, but he's, calling him father throughout the whole thing. And then he starts going off, talking about the night that he killed his wife, and he's like, I wept so long that night. I've never fallen asleep at the wheel before that night, never since that night. And he goes into the story from his perspective of that night. Graham's like, don't, please. And you can see, great emotion on Mel Gibson's face. Excellent acting. I found it excellent acting. I felt tragedy in his broken heart. I felt like he acted very well. He's like, please don't talk about it. Damn. And then he just starts going. He's like, now, fuck, I'm along for the ride. Here I go. And
poor guy, just getting everybody's bullshit. Fuck off. Leave me alone.
He hadn't seen any other car for miles and miles or anything for miles and miles that night. And it was just happening at the right moment for that fucking just narrow window, that few seconds that it would have taken for him to fall asleep and, hit her, that just happened. It's like it was meant to be. And that just is heavy for him to hear. Yeah. It's hard. And he's like, people are saying this is the end. This is the end. I'm screwed, right? Because people who kill pastors' wives probably don't look too good in the eyes of God. And then, says, I'm heading to the lake. He noticed that none of the crop circles are around water. I don't think they like water. So that kind of foreshadows into something later. But after that, he's like, I sincerely apologize for what happened to you and yours. And fires up his car and he's like, don't go in my pantry, Father. I got one of them in there.
And he just drives
and then he speeds up speeds up. Yeah, it's and he's still kind of hanging in the car. You're to his back. I'm that's a little dangerous and rude.
Yeah, that was pretty cool though.
He's gonna run over the husband now?
Cool scene.
Calm down.
Finish the job.
Is this why maybe he was just a little too speed racer? Maybe that's why I don't know. Kill the wife. I don't know. Either way. It cuts back to Merrill. He's still in the closet. He's watching a home video that was uploaded from South America of them witnessing at a birthday party, one of the aliens going through, one of the aliens in full view at this birthday party. And so it's a bunch of kids tripping inside, and they're showing a view of the yard. The kids all looking out there it's out there, out there. And the camera person follows some kids over to a different window, and they're like, blah, blah, blah. I don't know what they're saying in Spanish, but they're saying a bunch of stuff, and they're like, it's right there, it's behind. And all of a sudden the alien walks out. And I always love this shot because it shows Graham watching all up close to the screen.
Yeah.
He flips out and cuts, fumbles all the way to the back of the damn closet. And he's all up in the clothes, dangling and shit here. He's just finish watching it, and they do the replay. And he creeps up back to his chair, the starting position at the, so the scene starts him right there in the focus, and then he's all the way in the back. And he gets back to where he started in the front, but it's just fun, the whole progression of it as they see it. I just thought it was great. I remember watching some commentary on it from some video or special thing I saw, or the bonus features on the DVD of, I think the director or producer or somebody talking about it. M. Night Shyamalan talking about how Joaquin, just did excellent acting.
I was the scene gave me PTSD.
Wow.
Because this scene, I've talked about the other scenes. This was this scene.
Oh, I remember as a kid too. Yeah. Just whoa, I can remember feeling my adrenaline kick up, my heart and shit.
And watching it this time around, I've argued this for years that watching a horror or playing a horror game ruins horror movies. Because once you're getting chased by the guy, watching somebody else get chased just does not have the same effect.
It doesn't.
Even with that, so the movie really didn't scare me this time around. As a jaded 27-year-old.
Yeah.
It's not. I didn't get scared a single time.
Yeah.
But
the first 3 or 4 times I watched it when I was
Oh yeah, as a little kid.
A teenager, like I was like 11 or something like that.
Oh yeah, fuck you.
Terrified the shit out. Like I was like, that was probably this and the Ring was the last movie I was ever scared of. We'll do the Ring eventually, but this was like the one before the Ring I was scared of.
Dude, when I saw the Ring, every time I would move my head really quickly, I would see her.
Yeah, like good.
Yeah. It was like
I couldn't take a shower. Like the fucking screen pulled all the way because I was just like afraid she'd be waiting for me on the other side of the shower when I was a kid. I'll never forget that.
It's horrifying though. That shit.
At the farm, dude, shit's just creepy and eerie at the farm, especially when people were, we always had a full house all the damn time. I don't know how many people were living in and out of there all the time, but there was a lot of us. Sometimes there wasn't very many, and it was just like you or a few other family members at the farm. It's just eerie when there's that many people in that big ass yellow house that we lived in. Uh-huh. So yeah, I don't know.
But another thing too is it did give me goosebumps though. Like it was just such a hype scene.
Oh, it did. Yeah. No, I got some too, just because
the music, the way it's shot.
So even after seeing it a few times, we can still be affected by it. And I really love.
I think it's a 10 out of 10 moment for sure.
And I think it's a testament to M. Night Shyamalan and his writing and directing of it, and just set up these scenes. He's got the atmosphere down. Even with like comedic relief, you're still invested. There's some crazy shit happening, and you feel part of it almost, So yeah, very, very well done. I put it like the scene was done really well. My nose right there.
It feels like something off the internet, like before the internet.
Yeah, before it's all out. It's just like something just brilliantly done by. They're back at Ray's house, and Graham's in the kitchen, and we can see like the shadow of something in the pantry moving about. The shadow's moving, and you hear thumping around and something stepping on glass, so you can hear clearly there's something in there. Graham claims to be a police officer, hoping that it's just like a human he can reason with, or saying he's a police officer, hoping to get the person to say like, okay, it's just me, whatever. Basically, I'm pretty sure he's just fishing for some sign of humanity out of that, thing on the other side of the door.
Very Andy Griffin-esque operation, I felt.
Ray thinks that there's he caught one of them in there. And this is another great scene, just how they do it. I remember the commentary on it. He tries to, talk to it. Nothing happens. And the shadow kind of stops moving so much. So he goes peek underneath the door. Can't see anything. He's kind of a distance away from it. And then he grabs this knife. The blade of it's kind of like a mirror. So he uses that underneath the crack of the door to kind of get a better angle and see around a little more. But he had to get close to the door to do that. So he sees nothing at first. He wants to, but at that moment he probably didn't want to. He's like, okay, I took a glance, didn't see anything. There was nothing. You can see he's just got his nerves working overtime. He just puts down the knife, walks out of the kitchen, and then he goes all the way out of the kitchen into the hallway, and he stops there in the hallway, gathers his nerve back again, and this time he really goes for it. He comes storming back, grabs the knife, gets underneath there real good, and then as he's getting down, though, his hand's coming at him from underneath the door. And he trips out all crazy and fucking cuts off two of the fingers off this alien. The alien's all screaming. He's all screaming. The birds start flying. Horrifying moment.
Yeah.
Even though there's some comedy in it too, fucking up, trying to pretend to be a cop, and then him getting a little shook and walking away, and then coming back. It's just it's almost like a jump scare.
Yeah, no, I got it. Back in the day, it was horrifying.
It's going really fucking well. It horrified the fuck out of me.
Yeah.
But looking at it today, it's you see the hand sitting there stationary, not doing anything, and then it starts moving. Yeah. It comes out. I'm if you really look at it, it kind of looks a little fake, but the first time through, you're shook by it. It cuts to Graham going home, and Meryl and the kids are on the couch. He walks in the door, and Meryl and the kids are on the couch wearing tinfoil hats. It didn't really even faze him. He just sees him just God damn it.
It's been infecting. It's infecting.
Yeah, he's just dude, I just see some shit too. Whatever. Okay, so you all prepped up. Meryl goes telling Graham that there's contagious colors. That's why we couldn't see him the other night. And Graham asked Morgan to tell him what the book say about if they invade. And Morgan tells them that if they invade, they'll rather use ground tactics, hand-to-hand combat, so we don't use their techs. They don't want us to use our nukes against them, because they know eventually we will. And then that will destroy resources and a bunch of shit.
And then they have a great line where he's like, how would anyone know this?
I got it.
Oh my God. Let me talk about it. Jesus.
Okay, yeah, well, once I say it, then we can talk about it.
Oh my God. I think it doesn't.
And Graham says, how could possibly anybody know that information? It's ridiculous. And then he goes, what else do they say?
Yeah, no. It's
That whole comedy thing again, it's just like, it's just fucking ridiculous. Just like, what else did they say?
It just reminds me of like crazy conspiracy.
Shut up, you stupid. Keep going though.
Yeah. Like you watch a crazy conspiracy video, and you're like, how would anyone ever do that?
It's fucking dumb.
What else would they say?
I'm gonna watch video too. You know, I'm just so like serious. And yeah. So I totally love it. I just feel like you don't have faith that I'm going to hit these points, but I'm gonna.
I'm just saying. I'm
going to get there. I do excellent notes. That's why I'm going to try to get them done earlier, and I'm going to send them to you, and then, like, you just add on it, so we're all on the same thing.
So I got something to say here.
Yeah. And just make sure you're like, oh, wow, I'm going to add something here, and I have something there, you know, whatever. So anyway, but then, he's like, yeah, it's ridiculous. And then he goes on, I'm like, what else did they say? He says, there's one or two outcomes of an invasion. One, they fight and are defeated and they have to return later, you know, years later, even thousands of years later, with better forces and whatever to defeat us. And then outcome number two is that they win. So Graham's like, I heard a theory about they don't like water, let's go to the lake. God damn it. You know, cat's got...
Goddamn cat.
So many damn treats. You have food. I'm giving you treats once already a day. You only got like 3 left in there. Here, you can have them all. Then what are you going to do? Then what are you going to do?
You're going to be all upset, salty about it?
You're going to be happy about it, and then you're going to be salty when you got none tomorrow. I'll get you more tomorrow. You pay tomorrow. You got more treats. I'll get you some soft food. You love that shit.
You eat that shit up like it's going out of style.
He does. I have to like stop him halfway through so he doesn't eat it too fast and throw up everywhere. Okay. So, they fight, they win. So Graham hears a theory about they don't like water, so we should go to the lake. We can either go to the lake and hide out there, or we stay at home. And they vote, and it's a tie, but Graham decides that his vote counts as 2 because he represents 2 parents.
I got some things to say here.
Okay.
Of course.
Let me finish the last thing, and then Morgan trips out, and Bo changes her vote, and then they re-vote, and then the score is that they stay.
Of course, Water Girl is going to pick for the lake.
Yeah, at first. It's like, I have a whole plethora of water I can taste from, you know.
Yeah, I would love to get a cup of water from a natural source.
So, Bo changes her vote, and so it's decided that they're going to stay, that they're going to board up the house and fortify the house.
I may have trouble with doors.
Yeah, they're going to board up every window in the house, and Meryl asks, like, what's that going to help? You know, they came from space, all that shit. He's like, well, they seem to have trouble with pantry doors, so...
Now we need to ask, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
The doors thing. Stupid or makes sense?
What?
That they struggle so much with doors.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, they seem so fucking powerful that they can leap and bound, you know, like fucking Superman around, but they can't jostle a fucking door open. Like, even my human self, that pantry door, I'll bust the splinters. That basement door, I'll bust the splinters. If they're that fast, they can just, you know, punch the door open real quick or something. You know.
I like to think that, like, the doors are just so beyond below what they have to deal with on a daily basis. It would be like having a guy from now, like me, like, have to drive a stick shift.
I just have I just can't.
Like, what the fuck is this?
Or just someone like me, I'm like, I just hop in and I'm like, I can drive. No problem.
So it's like, this works. Like, the aliens have to, like, go back.
I was wondering that. Now I was just going to go, and I'm like, that works. I like it. Very feasible.
Yeah, so it's just like, to me, and you know, they're just so far
advanced. Just to get like a farther distance advance, like, you know, me going back, trying to like hitch up a horse to a carriage, it's like, it's
what
rough.
A fucking idiot.
Yeah. You know, like the town fucking drunk idiots, like, you stupid fucking, like, it has to help me lasso up my horse or some shit. Which I have done it before, so I can do it again. It's just been a long time.
But it's like, you know, I think it's not totally far-fetched that they would be like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I mean, like, what's this door? Like, ours should just automatically open, so I don't know.
What is this bullshit? You gotta, like, do the
You gotta actually touch a handle? Like, what? Fucking humans.
Also, every time I leave this apartment at my brother's house, since I live out in the middle of nowhere, I never have to lock a door ever in my whole entire life. Or I probably should. But,
yeah, out the farm, like, if I was a serial killer these days, I'm going out to farms and shit. Yeah. Where technology hasn't, they don't have ring cams on every fucking door and shit.
But, like, so sometimes I leave here, and it takes me, like, no joke, like 5 minutes to lock the door. So, like, I feel these aliens. Like, I'm sitting there like an
I'm just glad you get it, because if you don't get it, you're going to catch my foot.
And you know exactly where it's going. That's why it takes 5 minutes.
Where's my foot going to go, Wayne?
Gonna go up my butt.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Just as long as you know that. So, it goes to later, and Graham and Meryl are heard hammering shit up in the background, but Morgan calls out to them, like, to see what's going on in the news. They go and check it out. It says that more and more lights are showing up over the world. Now there's lights in over 274 cities, and they're all appearing within a mile of crop circles. So they're like, oh, I think it was Meryl's like, so they were for navigation. Like, yeah. They were just like mapping out, hey, land here. The rest of the Vanguard kind of established, checked out the scene, like that dude in the fucking recruiter's office was saying. And they just sent out these circles to like show the rest of them where to go. Like, let's go here. We're far from water. It's good. We got this. You know, got water's total death acid to us, and this earth is covered.
We're gonna have to talk about that.
Covered in this shit. Yeah. So yeah, when we get to questions, concerns, all that shit at the end. Yeah, I'm ready for that one. Don't worry.
And he also has a line like, it's just like War of the Worlds.
Yeah, it's like just War of the Worlds.
And I shit on Alice in Wonderland, I think last episode, or at some point. I think maybe I don't know, whatever. Anyhow, that book sucks, but War of the Worlds is fantastic, and you should totally read it. It's like written in the 1800s.
Oh, and then check out the original.
Oh, the original, yeah.
Because I was checking out my podcast the other day, I think Dan was doing it.
Yeah, Dan did it, yeah.
And he's talking about War of the Worlds, and it's just so great how Dan breaks it down. It's just like people were tripping balls. I was just listening to it while I was playing 7 Days to Die, so it was all great.
War of the World's fantastic, though. I highly recommend it. Oh, yeah. Very poetic. That guy was like a time traveler.
I remember seeing the original way back when I was a kid, and that was good, even that I can recall. And then the new one with fucking that little dude, Tom Cruise. Fucking great. And they think that the lights and position staging of their lights is going to be immediately preceding an attack maneuver. And Meryl said it's like the War of the Worlds. It's like, oh, shit. See, I was getting there too, motherfuckers. Keep jumping the gun. You always jumping the gun like 2 sentences on my shit.
I just want to make sure it gets in there.
Well, don't worry. All right. You see realization setting on Graham's face. He gets back to the windows, just working on putting up stuff. Morgan goes to ask Meryl, as Graham goes off to work on windows more, Morgan asks Meryl to make sure, like, he won't let anything happen to them, right? Morgan and Bo, like the kids. He's like, you're not going to let anything happen to us, are you, Uncle Meryl? Sort of thing. And Meryl assures him, like, never. I'd never let anything happen to you. And Morgan goes, like, I wish you were my dad. And Meryl's like, don't ever say anything like that again. Like, what the fuck? And again, this is kind of like a thing, like, what? Where's that coming from? Why does he think his dad is so incapable of protecting him?
Well, I think the dad's just been uber bipolar since his wife died.
Exactly, in distance. So, like, it does kind of clear it up. When I was writing the notes, I was like, what the fuck's up with this at that time and point? But we come to see later how kind of like his animosity is kind of explained out, and like you see kind of how his perspective. That's kind of what this whole
movie's about, is like the dad losing his way, and then the alien stuff puts him back on the right path.
Ooh, that's a good point. Save that for the themes. Save that for the themes. Because, it's good. So I like that. I didn't even think of it on those terms, so like where you're going. So at first I didn't like that, it was kind of off-putting, but
also a good scene of Meryl defending his brother. Being like, fuck you for saying that about.
Yeah, like, Dad, like, don't ever say that again.
Yeah.
Your dad's doing the best he can. You're just a kid. You don't quite understand yet fully. You're taking it hard too. I feel like that was all kind of said within that scene when they weren't saying that, though. I think that's what we're supposed to take from it. So they keep boarding up the windows and plan to tie the dog up in the shed. Bo's like, I'm hungry. And Meryl's like, well, I'll fix some sandwiches real quick. Bo's like, I want spaghetti. And he's like, no, we should eat fast. And Graham's like, no, spaghetti sounds wonderful. And then he asks Morgan what he wants. And he wants French toast and mashed potatoes. He asks Meryl what he wants. He's like, chicken teriyaki. And Graham's like, I'm gonna have a cheeseburger with bacon, extra bacon. And there's a few different America themes in this movie. Like the color of their house is all red, white, and blue. They're from like the Heartland kind of area, farming. Graham as a pastor. And then his last meal, basically, we can keep preparing so we have a better chance to survive. No, let's have this big intricate meal and everybody gets what the fuck they want. Because it's their last meal, I get that. Like, he's kind of thinking about, like, if we don't make it through this, let's all have a good meal, like, to enjoy what we want before we die. So it goes like a shot of them in the kitchen. The kitchen's all messed up. The sink's filled, all the dishes and shit, whatever. And then you see the family in the dining room, sitting around this huge like feast of all the foods that they wanted. And as a cook, let me tell you, that would have taken hours and hours to cook and prep.
They had all the time in the world.
Hours. For all those three, like, all those different meal things, it would have taken a while. What, you just have all the beef and chicken and everything thawed out in the fridge, and they got to thaw that shit out?
He's got the Jer Bear thing, where he has 7 freezers of...
Yeah, but still it takes a while to thaw out all that shit and cook it. I'm just saying...
That's the one part of this movie you're taking?
No, there's a few more, but this is a plot hole for me.
Now we gotta play Final Meal, Electric Boogaloo. You have to pick between spaghetti, French toast, and mashed potatoes, chicken teriyaki, or a cheeseburger with extra bacon. What are you picking out of those 4? If you had to eat one of these guys' meals. I'm going with spaghetti. I love spaghetti. I'll fuck with spaghetti all day.
It's a toss between chicken teriyaki and a burger. If it was it, I'd probably go with burger.
Okay.
Extra bacon. Yup. I'm going burger.
Alright, now we throw this food out. What would you ask for? What would be your...
My final meal? Oh, catfish. Fried catfish all day, baby. If I'm on death row, that's the last meal I'm having. Like, if I'm in the hospital I'm dying, give me some fucking fried catfish, dude, and get it to me stat. Preferably with some collard greens and some rice. And make sure there's a few slices of bread with it. And hot sauce. Gotta have the hot sauce.
I think I would take, like, a BLT, some potato spuds, and hopefully, like, a chocolate cake.
Yes. A good BLT, you just can't really beat that.
Oh, yeah, BLT is, like, perfectly balanced. It's all things shit.
Oh, it's quite glorious. If you get, especially, like, heirloom tomatoes.
Mm-hmm.
Some nice, like, just good, fresh, crisp lettuce.
You get maybe some cheese melted lettuce on that bad boy? You get some cheese melted
That's
on that?
That's not a BLT then. Now you're talking about a melt.
BLT. That's the ingredients.
No. Then you call it a bacon melt. You know?
Oh my god.
I've had to name so many dishes. Don't even fuck with me.
No,
it's not the same thing. Not the same thing.
Fine. I'll just get
a BLT is bacon, lettuce, and tomato.
I know you were so puritanical.
You have an alternate like things of like there's some fucking mayo on there. Just a dab of mayo.
Mayo's gross.
It's glorious in very small quantities. Nasty. I will not eat a BLT without a little bit of mayo on it ever again. It's glorious.
I'll fucking throw that shit in that.
And I'll throw you right behind it. Fishes will be eating good that day. They get a good BLT and your ass. So everybody's sitting around this food and nobody's eating anything. And Morgan's like, hey, should we say a prayer? And Graham's like, no, we're not saying prayer. And Morgan's like, I hate you. You let mom die. And Graham's like, I'm not wasting one more minute on prayer. And we're like, we're going to enjoy this meal. And Bo's all crying over there. And Graham's like, stop crying. She's like, well, if none of y'all going to eat any of this shit, well, I'm going to have a little bit of all of it. And he starts like forking different bits of everyone's meal onto his plate, and he starts, jabbing into it, eating, and then he breaks down, starts crying. And then Morgan was like the first one to come up and like comfort him. Like, oh shit, I'm sorry, Dad, setting you off. You struggling, Dad? I'm sorry. He goes up, hugs him and shit. And then Bo comes up, he like wants to get in on the hug. And Meryl's just kind of sitting there like, fuck, And then all of a sudden Graham's arm comes in, grabs him into the big like family hug too. I just love the way they kind of shot that. It's just like, come on, family getting in. We had a little heavy spot, but like, hey, we're coming in. And then as they're all hugging and shit, the fucking baby monitor starts lighting up, and they hear a bunch of shit going over the radio, and they're like, oh, fuck, it's happening. So they all get up.
And they still have boards to put up after they fucked around with the dinner operation.
It shows Meryl sitting there, like, upstairs, like, they're all sitting upstairs, and, like, he's finishing up boarding up this one door or window or something like that. And Graham's just standing in the fucking room looking out the window, and, like, seems like he sees something clearly, like, oh, shit. Sees him coming, backs up, closes the door. So first off, they made all this food for what I would think, cooking all those things like that. At least 3 hours, everything's all thawed and ready to go. Unless they made everything just like with the most basic of ingredients, it's all bullshit, basic crap food. Okay, but if you want to do it all well, it's going to take hours. You have to have a lot of different ingredients.
Well, they are kids, I don't know. Let's do the
on the farm, like, oh, chicken teriyaki, they just like get some teriyaki sauce from the store and pour it on some chicken and like, oh, it's chicken teriyaki now. Like, that's not how it goes, bud.
For Iowa, though, that's just chicken teriyaki.
Oh, yeah, for them, these Midwesterners, whatever, I guess,
Spice is like nothing.
Spaghetti, like, oh, we just have some fucking tomato sauce and here's a burger. Meatballs. Yeah, like, fuck them. Or like, oh, we just have spaghetti in a can. And like, I don't know, I just boiled some fucking pasta noodles and that was it.
I like to think one of them got dicked, like the spaghetti girl got just SpaghettiOs or something.
Yeah.
Like a fully cooked meal. Like, sorry, we just ran out of time.
Like, we didn't have eggs for your fucking French toast, dude, so like, you just have some cinnamon sugar toast. Here you go.
I know this is like your last meal on Earth, but we just don't got it.
Actually, we didn't have cinnamon sugar, so we had a few little but you have a little bit of the Cinnamon Toast Crunch left, so that's all you get. But and we don't have any milk. So it's just very convenient. Yeah, they had all this stuff set up, and they cook all the food. Ain't nobody eat shit with Graham eating a few frantic bites while he's crying. So, you know.
Talk about,
I mean, I've eaten plenty of food while crying, and it's still delicious. It's fine. But,
it's like... Talk about, like, a waste of just afterwards.
Yeah.
Because, like...
I could have been prepping and, like, getting more prepared to save my family, going over scenarios. Where's your medicine, son? Get it in a bag, put it on your back, and keep it there, or something, you know. Or here's it in your pocket. It's your job. Like, you watch your sister, and you get your meds.
But... No, we're going to spend 5 hours cooking.
Yeah!
I'm going to go and destroy...
Before we're even ready.
And destroy all the food I just cooked because...
Yeah, and we're just going to walk away because the aliens are coming now, so we're fucked. So,
very huge strategic mistake there.
Huge! Well, I'll get into it
It's
more.
like Napoleon invading Russia, you know what I mean? Without winter clothes. Not a great plan.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. I remember reading that book, and it was very bad for them because they were not prepared. So, he's walking back out that room after he sees whatever in the window, basically like, there's something coming. I think we're supposed to believe out of that. So he backs up. And so the door swings into the room. And so when he's leaving it, he closes it shut into the hallway. And then proceed to put a board in front of the fucking door and just start hammering into the frame.
Shit.
I'm like, so the alien's gonna get through that fucking window real quick because it's not boarded up. You're gonna get to the door. They're just open the door. What? Just duck underneath that fucking board they just nailed up, or like the 3 boards they nail up. I'm like, oh, well, just excuse me. Well, I'm just gonna squeeze through this little fucking like the gaps in these 3. Like, what the fuck? Sorry, M. Night or whoever was on the set coordinator, bro. You should know that the door swings in, and that doesn't make no damn sense, bro. That just really killed it for me. And they're going after it for a minute.
Yeah,
they're putting up a few boards. You know, it just doesn't make any sense. And like that whole house, the second floor, the main floor, and the basement. Why would you just fortify one area? Like, I don't know, the basement. Put some buckets down there for shitting in, whatever you gotta do. Or board up the whole house to where you have the kitchen and the bathroom access and just board off and barricade the rest of it. I don't fucking know. So, they're hammering up this stupid fucking board in the door. And Graham starts telling Bo about the day she was born.
And we're going to talk about how he's already fucked off hours upon hours of time, but
now you're wasting like in
more
this
time,
critical time when the shit's happening right now. You see the motherfuckers coming, so I'm pretty sure he's like, this is probably the last time I'm gonna get to speak to my kids because I think what's coming, and I'm putting this stupid fucking board up on this wall or over this door. It ain't stopping nobody, but I'm just trying to feel like I'm doing something proactive, but when I'm really not, because I'm fucking suck at this. Yeah, he starts telling them about this fucking story of how she was born, and they smiled, and babies that young aren't supposed to be able to smile. And they hammer shit up, and they decide like, well, that's good enough. Head downstairs. You can hear, like, dogs all barking, and then you hear like, oh, we forgot the dog, which is fucked up.
Terrible maneuver, terrible.
And so like, oh, we forgot the dog, and then we hear the dog like, you know, like, silence out, like, oh, there goes Isabel. Like, what the fuck? Like, how do you forget the damn dog?
How foreboding.
Yeah,
how absolutely horrifying to hear your dog out there barking and just,
that's it. And I'm like, damn.
I'm shitting myself. I am shitting myself. Like, we're going to be in
so they're just standing there at the bottom of the stairs in the hallway, just like, in the middle of the house. They're just standing there. And they hear the wind chimes knocked into outside. They hear the creaking of someone walking on the porch and shit.
Horrifying.
Outside. Horrifying. And they hear it going around the porch heading toward the front door. And they're just still standing there. Just standing there. Just like fools. No weapons. Not in any athletic gear, ready to fight or survive or anything like that. They're just standing there like dumb shits in regular clothes, like, fucking stupid looks on their faces. Graham starts going into
another story.
So they're not prepared at all, but all they sitting there prepared with is like Graham just has like stories ready for his kids. And stupid looks on their faces. That's all I got for this whole situation. Instead of plotting and scheming to survive, he's like, I got another story for you.
And like Meryl is like busting ass. Like, he's still bringing wood in. Like, he's still...
No, he was done. Like, he was standing there like an idiot, too.
At
the point where he starts... Like, they're all standing in the hall. And then Meryl, like, ain't doing shit. But then fucking... Graham just starts going to the story about when you were a baby. But Meryl's like... they all hear the glass shatter and stuff. And Meryl's like, They're inside. Oh, I didn't take fucking 2 seconds for them fuckers. Hey, hear a glass breaking and they're inside. Yeah, because they went through that damn window that they didn't have done up, and they just opened the door and like just let themselves in. Like, are you fucking dumb? Like, apparently they come from the ceiling or the attic too. But I'm like, oh, okay, it wasn't just attic. It was like the whole house. Like, that thing was a fucking...
They broke in within seconds.
Yeah, a fucking gremlin could have easily popped in. Like, whatever, fucking nothing shits. Like, what the fuck?
You sent a Mogwai, yeah.
Yeah.
And Ewoks.
Yeah, Ewok is like stolen in. Yeah, like, you weren't even protecting that from like a 6-year-old child, human child. They're like,
I bet a raccoon could have gotten that bitch.
Yeah! It'd be all up in the trash can. You know, after telling him that, just whatever story when he was born, I don't even remember.
Who cares?
I don't care.
You think he's telling him the story when they were born because he knows they're about to fucking die? Some weird, beautiful poetry about... Remember the first moment you existed in this will be the last because I didn't plan for this.
Yeah, like, if I would have been a better, like, planner and stuff like that, I could have maybe saved you kids, but I'm just basic and I'm dumb, so I just have stories to tell you when you're born. So they just get inside the house real quick, and then they're coming down through the attic door, so they decide, like, oh, let's go to the cellar. What a stellar idea to have just now. Stupids. And... they've got nothing left to board up the fucking door in the basement with. Their fucking Alamo stronghold or some shit. So I'm like, get the fuck out. It's all the goddamn wood and the whole thing to board up the upstairs. Fucking barricade the upstairs off. Just like cordon that whole thing off. It's just, there's so many ways I could like go about this. Like, our house has been a fucking bunker, not just a fucking sideshow and prop at a fucking circus, dumb shit. Graham's holding the door. The basement shut.
Also, the basement's creepy like both of our basements.
Yeah.
It's like that, our houses.
Especially the yellow house. That was scary.
Are you kidding me?
I'd have to shut that's like a dungeon shit. But like going in and out of the White House basement all the time, it was just that dark ass steps at the bottom. And every time I would shut off all the lights down in the basement and run upstairs to like leave out the front, instead of shut off the lights, I'd be running upstairs and I swear I could feel something just sitting at the bottom of the stairs staring at me while I'm running up. I swear. Every time.
Just saying though, it's just like our house.
Yeah, it's scary. So like, he's like looking for something to wedge up against the door to keep the aliens out. Graham's holding the door shut as the aliens are wiggling the handle and trying to push through. And he's like, no, not yet. I'm not ready. Not ready. Oh, you should have been ready instead of making food and telling stories, you dumb fuck. That's your problem. Like, I don't even feel sad for you right now. I don't even feel bad. Because you just didn't want to believe until it's too late. Like, everybody else was dipping out. I was with Ray. I'd be like, hey, come to my house real quick. We can grab my children and my supplies and we'll go out to the lake with you. Fuck. You know, I'm sure they probably had a canoe or something they could have went out of the water with. Like, come get us now, aliens. Ha ha, you know. But anyway, they find the stupid axe thing to put underneath the door, but as he's pulling it off the shelf,
God damn it,
Meryl fucking smacks the one light they have, but still somehow manages to get over to the door and get to Graham so they can wedge it up. And then, in the commotion, Morgan finds a flashlight?
Yeah. It's a cool scene where you...
Oh, yeah. So Morgan finds a flashlight and turns it on. He's like kind of scanning around. And you see the Graham and Meryl holding the door shut. He sees Bo. A few minutes later, like, the aliens stop really trying to get into the door. But all they're doing is pounding on the door and making noise to distract them to keep their focus on the door.
And what a cool...
I love that idea, like, realization and stuff. So they realize, they're trying to take our attention away from something. Or Morgan's like, they're really smart. They're going to find a way in. Graham's like, they used to pour coal down here. There's a coal chute somewhere. So like, shit. So they're going off to hunt for this coal chute. They find this coal spot and they're like navigating their way to the coal spot. And it goes to Morgan in front of this fucking grate that's holding the entrance of the coal chute shut. And there's like a little hole in it. But then all of a sudden, an alien hand that's all camouflaged in just goes and grabs Morgan. And the light cuts out because he drops the flashlight. Meryl and Graham go up to snatch up Morgan from the alien and then seal off the hole. They get him out of the way. And then Meryl's stacking up some impenetrable dog food bags or grain bags that just somehow aliens can't get through and blocks up.
Never seen these bags before.
What are these things filled with these little beads of whatever? I don't know. To block the chute, and then he tops it off with a fucking can of beans or some shit on top of it. It goes to Morgan having an asthma attack now because all this shit. He needs that medicine, of course, that they don't fucking have. Because these people are the worst in a crisis situation on the fucking planet. Kind of don't deserve to live, in my opinion, at this point. Like, my kid's got some severe fucking asthma, and there's an alien invasion. We're gonna hide ourselves. Maybe I should have that medicine right here, ready to grab at a moment's notice. Maybe even a first aid kit. Who knows what's gonna happen? Maybe some extra beverages and soda and some tea, like whatever. What the fuck? Beverages and soda, beverages and food and whatever. I just not make a whole fucking night's worth of food and not even eat none, and then go have to like hide in your basement. What if it took 2 weeks of an invasion before like the humans started figuring it out? They're lucky it was only one night. They're gonna fucking die of starvation and fucking dysentery before. Oh my fucking shit! Don't even get me started. Anyway, I'll get started.
Also, later on when they do leave the basement, it's like 3 seconds. Like they hear like, "Oh, aliens are gone." I would have waited like a day or two.
Yeah, at least another. Well, they have no supplies and they needed medicine. Because they're stupid.
Yeah.
If they would have waited more, the alien would be like, "Shit, my ship's going. I gotta fucking go." I can't. Anyway, we'll get there. So
they did have to, and well, I guess they put them in their own decision though, because it's like if they would have not fucked around with dinner, and they would have actually plotted this shit.
Yeah, they might have some food and shit ready down in the basement, whatever rations.
They kind of again they set up themselves to like fail.
Literally, they could have sealed 2 spots with all that wood and shit. The fucking vent to the cold vent to the basement, and fucking the door to the basement. They could have had some buckets ready to be shitting in that could be sealed up later or something like that, or dug a fucking hole to shit in for a few days or something like that. There's even a number of things that happened.
Yeah.
And that didn't. All that food they prepped up, they could have just, I don't know, cooked all that shit, put it in some to-go boxes, put it in an ice box, and then buried that too so it stayed colder longer, and then just dug into it every now and then when they needed to eat, ration that shit. If that wasn't more than a 24-hour invasion, they'd have been fucking dead. It wasn't even a 24-hour invasion, it was like 12 hours.
Yeah, that's another thing we need to talk about, just like, these aliens are fucking twats. Right?
Yeah, twats. We'll get there. Oh, yeah. So, Graham tries to slow his breathing naturally. He's cursing God because he, wasn't prepared enough to fucking, in case his son had an asthma attack. So he's cursing God for putting him through his stupidity. But he gets his breathing to slow a bit, and then Meryl suggests to save the flashlights. He's holding on to Bo. So they cut the flashlight. Then it goes to the scene where the accident took place again with his wife. That happened. And it was a sad scene. She was wedged in between the vehicle and the tree, and her body was held together from the vehicle, pinning her up against that tree. She was still conscious, can talk. So they left her up there for, I don't know, an hour or so, 2. Who knows how long it took Graham to show up to the fucking accident scene. Could have been just 10 minutes as a local. Who knows? But for some reason, my mind's like, she's been up there just dying for an hour or so.
I think years.
Just a long time waiting. Just like talking to EMTs, like, he'll be here soon, ma'am. Just hang on. You can talk to your husband, then you can die.
Hang on to what? My legs don't exist.
Yeah, that's how I was kind of picturing in my head. And she's conscious, so they can talk. And so he's kind of walking up to go say hi to her. And it cuts back to him waking up in the basement.
Well, are we going to talk about, like, this is where we finally find out.
Nope, it's not there yet.
Are we getting really?
Yep, it skips to them back in the basement first.
Alright.
So it goes back to him waking up in the basement, and we can hear the radio going, and Meryl says, like, found an extra pack of light bulbs, so you got the light going again. And there's people talking on the radio again, and Meryl says that the radio's saying that they're leaving, but they had some poison gas that killed a lot of people. A lot of people died. But they are leaving all of a sudden, and said that some of the alien wounded were left, which was like interesting.
A bunch of assholes. We've no man behind.
No, that's a human thing, I guess.
Yeah, we've no sex.
Aliens are like, yeah, fuck those guys.
Out of here, XCOM.
You fucked up. Yeah. Fuck you guys.
Pussy lost your finger to a kitchen knife from a monkey.
2 fingers.
2 fingers, yeah.
And Meryl questions Graham like, "You didn't think we were gonna make it through last night, did you?" And Meryl's like, "No, I didn't." It's like,
get your shit together, man.
Yeah. They have a little heart-to-heart, and I put this quote in there just so it kind of hits it on the head, but a little heart-to-heart, like, he kind of lets his brother know. It's like, Meryl goes, "There's a lot of things I can take, and some things I can't. But what I can't take is when my older brother, who's everything that I want to be, starts losing faith in things. I saw that look in your eyes last night, and I don't ever want to see that look in your eyes again." Graham's just like, okay, yeah, I've had all that shit. You just gotta kind of swift kick in the pants from his little brother, which is awesome. If I ever need that, please make sure you swiftly kick me in my pants. Just the same way. Morgan's over there wheezing, but he's asleep, breathing heavily. He's been like that for a few hours. And he needs meds. And they're not sure if the coast is clear. And they debate on risking, going up to get the meds. They check the baby monitor. Hey, let's check this out. Let's see if we can, hear nothing. They hear nothing but static, and they're like, good enough. And so Meryl heads upstairs first, checks out the coast is clear. Graham goes up and puts Morgan on the couch. And Bo's already in the closet checking out the TV. And she's like, there's people on the TV dancing like this. It's just a little jig, and it's kind of funny. It's just a cute little scene. And again, she's wearing some fucking little dress thing. I'm like, we have an alien invasion going on. The night before, I've been like, there's an alien invasion on. Girl, I need you to go get your fucking boots on, some jeans, pants with some cargo pockets, something. Go get your backpack, take out all your dumb shit for school, and put in some food, and whatever. I don't know. I'm not trying to, drag my daughter through a survival situation while she's wearing a damn dress. God damn it. Anyway, but she's all dancing, and Graham's like, hey, you want to see it, buddy? Talking to Morgan, and he's like, yeah. So he's like, I'll go get the TV. So he walks over to go get the TV, and by the time he pulls it out of the closet and turns around, the alien got Morgan. And he got him all about one arm just dangling around like he ain't nothing. And we see it says, the alien, they got his fingers cut off, and they're like, oh shit.
Yeah, you remember me, homie?
Yeah.
Remember me?
Dang these aliens down for revenge. That motherfucker somehow got out the closet. Maybe his homies came in hey, bro,
you lost your
how'd you get your dumb ass stuck in the closet? I lost my fingers. Alright, man, okay, yeah. Come on.
Well, then they're you gotta stay here, though. We're leaving.
Yeah, no, they're just he's probably got out of the closet hang on, I got some business to handle real quick. And, I'm pretty sure these motherfuckers over here. I don't know, how do they fuck... it's miles away from their house. So
you might have super smell.
Yeah, or hey, trace the fucking residue from these tires back to this, I don't know. They probably have some scanning thing or something. I don't know. Who knows how the alien found that house. But they did. We did. And there's a tense standoff, and it goes to Graham. Now we'll go back to Graham talking to his wife. And it's the tear-jerking little scene. If you're susceptible to this kind of thing, it might fuck with your allergies a bit. This is where we hear that swing away Meryl part, where we hear about the swing away Meryl. That's the last thing she said before she died earlier. But they just have a chat, and she wants them to be strong, be nice and kind and strong, all that shit.
Talk about the most kids. Depressing fucking situation of all time.
It would be so bad. She's dying, and of course, before she finished off, she talks to Graham. It's almost like a third person, he's not there, and she's just kind of saying it. Which is sad, and then it goes the swing away Meryl. It's heavy. It's hard. It's a sad scene. Then we go back to the living room, and Graham has an epiphany, seeing Meryl standing next to his bat on the wall. Anyway, Meryl just starts swinging. Grabs the bat, starts swinging on that motherfucker, knocks the alien into a table with some water on it, and it spills on the alien, shoulder or something, and it shows it, the water's burning him, his ass or some shit.
Really cool first person.
Yeah, the alien's tweaking out. So the kids and Graham scram outside, and Meryl goes, all gladiator on the alien. Anything?
He was an emperor.
Okay. Yeah, well, he fought the gladiator.
That's true. I'll give you it.
Thank you. Okay, I was I'm really trying for that point. Let me have that one. While she's screaming, though, you can see, before they head outside, she starts screaming, and you can see the reflection in the alien's skin, which I thought was really cool. They're that, mimetic or, blend in with their skin tone. They can, naturally pick out those tones and reflect it. It's weird. Anyway.
Cool look, though.
Cool. Yeah, it's a cool thing, but I'm is that really camouflage? This is more like a mirror. Anyway. So the kids and Graham head outside, and Meryl goes all gladiator on the alien, hitting glasses of water at him, and then he does a whole lineup fucking power swing on the motherfucker, and breaks his bat, knocking the alien into a bunch of water, killing him. Just savage ass hero.
And we get this cool FPS shot where it's it cuts to the alien's point of view, and he gets knocked.
Yeah, right. And all the water just going on his face, I
love that. I'm a sucker for.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I really enjoyed that fucking whole point of view, how it went out, too. It was really fucking sweet.
Also, when you talk about swing away, cool or lame?
Swing away, Meryl.
The whole revelation.
But it all did tie in, and you saw him sitting there next to the bat, and he always said, he It started up even with Lionel telling him, like, he has a strikeout record because he just swing his ass all the time. So if anybody can defeat this superior physically alien, it's this guy who just smacked the motherfucker with a bat. And it's right there, already on the house, and he even says it. So I got the bat still on the wall of the house and shit. So it's just like the special bat. So I like it. It worked. I think it fit throughout the whole thing.
I'm trying, and it's like, to me, it just makes me cut back to that conversation where it's like, do you believe in miracles or coincidences?
Like, there are no coincidences. Because there weren't. It's all set up. We're doing other takeaways and shit like that. But, yes, it does kind of make you think, like, was that just coincidence that Meryl was in baseball or whatever, and just fucking, he has a bat at home, and that's what saves their ass then, and that the daughter drank water, but always thought it was contaminated, so left in half drink cups of water laying around everywhere, fucking just ammo to fucking defeat these aliens with. Pretty sure it works. It worked pretty well.
But all it might just seem a little too convenient. That might be the problem with it.
In order to have a cohesive story, it's gonna fucking line up.
It could have lined up in this.
Do you want this to be a 2-hour movie? 2+ hour movie? So we have more hoopla running around to make it?
Maybe.
I don't think
it makes the movie better.
I thought it was satisfactory. So it goes outside, and Morgan's like out cold still. They give him his medicine, like, he puts the shot in his leg. Graham's like, that's why you had asthma, so the poison didn't go in your lungs. That's why you got asthma, poison's not in your lungs. Your lungs were closed, you didn't get the poison, all that shit. Just kept repeating it. Like a mantra almost. Meryl checked Morgan's pulse, and he's like, oh no. And Graham's just like, just wait, just wait. He's like, that's why your lungs closed, like, this is all happening, like, please don't do this. Like, talking to God again, all that shit. Then you hear Morgan's voice like, Dad? And everyone's like, oh, crying, which is a very good touch moment. Again, the acting, I'm like, it sold me. I felt the tension. I felt like this is a very dire situation. But then, it kind of always together. That's why he has asthma, to keep him safe from the fucking alien gases. That's why Meryl played baseball, didn't end up going to the pros and shit, and ended up at home after I moved in with him. So he'd be there with all of his ability and talent to back up his brother and take care of the alien at the end. That's why that girl always thought water was contaminated because, it was going to be fuel to take out the aliens later. And that's why his wife died, so they could put all these associations together.
The wife thing, I think it's...
Yeah, so I'm like, did the wife need to be dead? But it just caused the whole, like, family chaos turmoil and gave everybody a character arc, basically, I think. Like, they went from just a damaged family going through this, traumatic event, like everyday average shit, to now, like, this is how you deal with it during a fucking alien invasion crisis. And then it cuts to some time has clearly passed because it's winter now, snow outside. Graham's getting ready in the bathroom again, and this time you see the wall, like, the stain has been removed, and I think it's, like, painted different colors now.
I think so.
So I thought it was, like, a blue, like, an older blue looking. Now it's, like, a modern tan grayish color. And everything's all cleaning up, and then he comes out, looking all fresh in his fucking pasture outfit. You can hear, the kids playing downstairs off in the distance and kind of let you know, like, everything's cool. Like,
yeah, I was happy. I'm happy to see Graham happy.
I kind of want to see, like, Meryl, like, one of the kids running by and Meryl kind of, like, chasing after him or something like that. Yeah. Like, I don't know, something so Meryl, like, kind of, he's like, oh, he's still around too, or maybe he wasn't there and, like, he's moved on. And, so that could be cool too. Yeah. You hear the kids laughing downstairs and everything, and just, movie cuts off. Yeah. And that's the end. Great movie, I think, all around.
Yeah, I like it a lot. I don't know if I'm going to go as far as saying it's great. I think there's a lot of great scenes. I think it's a very enjoyable movie to watch.
I think the story overall, there's different little parts of it that didn't quite fully line up, or some scenes that could have been taken out with, like, the kids being weird.
Yeah.
But overall,
I enjoy it. Yeah, I
was very, it wasn't as great as, like, Signs or...
Wasn't as great as Signs?
I mean, as great as, M. Night Shyamalan's movies.
Oh, The Fifth Sense?
Yeah, The Sixth Sense. Or The Fifth Sense.
No, it's Always Sunny, because they have that bit about the dude who uses his nose to fight crime. Like, he smells crime before it happens, and it's called The Fifth Sense because they're trying to pitch it to M. Night. And it fucks me up every time. Every time I think of The Sixth Sense.
I must have missed that episode or something.
It's great. It's fantastic. Watch It's Always Sunny.
I've enjoyed it. I just don't remember that one specifically. So, questions, concerns. Like, my question, let me start off. I loved Like the A plot and B plot crossovers. A plot, alien invasion, B plot, what happened to Mama, and how it's all connected and shit. In fact, that was done well cohesively. But like, Graham and the family need to seriously take a class or a weekend seminar on crisis preparation, survival skills, activities? They needed something because they had zero.
Survival ability of a carrot.
Alright, just what in the fuck are you dumb fucks doing? Clearly people are taking it seriously all across the globe. Like, you're not? They should have figured out some other way to brace the door shut, or just be like, fuck all these doors. Let's just handle the one door in our basement, and like, oh wait, before the alien invasion comes, wait, we got the door all barricaded, but there's that coal chute. We gotta go find that and handle that before the aliens get here. Put some spikes up in there or something like that and be fine. Can
you imagine if we would spend all that time cooking food?
Yeah, can you imagine if we didn't make this stupid meal that we didn't even fucking eat? And just like prepare it up for this. Like none of this shit would happen. And my son wouldn't have got snatched up and had an asthma attack. Like, get the fuck out of here.
It's such a sad scene. It bums me out every time him eating the food and crying and stuff. But it's just like still really funny though.
Yeah,
like, he ate all that shit because like nobody else.
He just took a bite. Like it was just like shoveled one bite of everything into his mouth real fast and barely even chewed it up before just like sobbing to death. It's like fuck, dude. All the shit you could have been doing. And you just get to this. Like, what? Was there everybody, like, giggling, helping in the kitchen, like, chopping stuff, and help, like, or was it just him fixing all this food together while the kids were just dicking off? And Meryl's over there just pounding up random fucking boards over windows that just, oh my fuck.
And how much did he really get done? He's like,
yeah, like, how many outside windows did they do before they're just like, oh, let's just shut the doors, and then just do the doors?
The doors would be, like, dead last.
And then, the doors to all the rooms upstairs should have been the first things.
Yeah.
So they're not wasting all the fucking boards on the windows. And then they have all those windows downstairs. Like, fuck barricade on that shit too. Instead of each and every window, just block off like the kitchen. Maybe there was a bathroom in that middle floor somewhere. And then the basement door. And block everything else off from that. Like, they could be in the house all they fucking want to. As long as they can't get past this. Like, shit, we can hold up in here for a few weeks, months even, if we need to, because we got bathroom, whatever. But then I feel like, those things will stick their wrist gimmicky thing underneath the door and just spray a bunch of gas in there and they're all fucked. But that didn't ever happen. Apparently that wasn't a threat, because that wasn't one, like, they just, instead of trying to get into the door, they just stick their fucking little sprayer through the fucking keyhole to the door and just start spraying in. Fumigate the place out like
why didn't you just
humans or roaches and just like
little Macaulay Culkin, you know what I mean?
What?
The kid when he has like the
he has the asthmas and shit. So
no, but like when he in the basement with the coal shaft.
Yeah, instead of just like getting him there, just like up in his face. Nope, you scare him first.
They're dumb.
You scare him first, and now he goes into a fucking asthmatic fit, and he can't breathe in the poison. And then you put the poison in him, and you fucked up twice, bud.
We need to admit, the aliens suck inside.
They're pretty
shit.
Basic. Hey, let's go invade this planet that is covered 70% by water and take over these beings that are made of over 80% water. Like, motherfuckers start hot tooling all over motherfuckers, and it's like, they're like, wow! Like, yeah, bitch, hot tool on that thing. Like, fuck you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just go off with that chick and, like, have bands of motherfuckers out there spitting, like, drinking some soda or something like that.
Water
Hydrating.
balloons. They have like water balloons.
Yeah. Fucking super soakers just start selling out overnight. Just like everybody's spraying out shit.
Just starts deploying super soaker squads.
Yeah, fucking water balloons are just like air dropped on everybody. Like, hey, start chucking these motherfuckers. Like, motherfuckers that usually putting out forest fires. Like, now we putting out aliens, dog.
The firefighters are just fucking shit up.
Yeah. Fucking just riding around on top of the truck like, yeah.
I got 16 Xenos today.
You know, those water cannons they used to put on, like, people in protests and shit? They still do in some places? Like, fucking, just hosing down aliens and their shit. Like, come the fuck on. It's the same thing with fucking, War of the Worlds. They come in with all this superior, like, ability and technology, but get their ass kicked by, like, I don't know, our common cold and shit.
It was like bacteria or something.
Like, you didn't inoculate your people? You didn't have no scouts down here getting sick first and be like, oh shit, Like, they just got killed out real quick by their diseases because there's some nasty motherfuckers down there.
The world's guys fucked up civilization. They were a lot more productive.
Yeah, they got a lot farther.
And they turned dudes in the pace to, like, they got shit done, alright?
Again, only in, like, 3 days. And then
compare that to
they caught the cold from one of the nasty motherfucking humans down here, and they died.
I like that.
But they didn't have some fucking recon motherfuckers to check hey, these humans, they know how to use their water down here. Maybe we should we'll just make the meeting spots far away from water. They can't ship water across distances like that. We'll be fine. Oh, they have piping and shit? Oh, fuck. Oversight. Fuck.
God damn it, Toby.
Yeah.
We sent you down there.
And they got their ass kicked and leaving like, shit, we gotta come back. We're gonna get some fucking suits on. That, like, they can't put no water on us, and then we're gonna get their asses. Yeah.
The only way this movie would have made sense more is, like, if it was like a gas station shop for these aliens. I don't think it makes sense for them to be invading.
Yeah, like, they came out of their way to invade us. Like, there's some plan. I like that idea. Like, hey, we're just stopping through on our way to go.
We just need, like, $1 billion oil.
We just need to pick up some things. So we're like, oh, here's the plan. They got some people on it, but we go ahead and snatch up whatever resource we need to keep ourselves going for a minute. We'll kill them all off real quick. But then they're saying like, oh, somebody fucked up real bad. Like, thought like, if we just didn't invade near water, we'd be fine. No, these motherfuckers got water everywhere. Could have been almost raining. What they gonna do when it rain?
Yeah, they're dead.
You can't go to like New Orleans or some shit and invade because that whole fucking thing, like, there's 100% humidity. You're in water. Literally, our atmosphere is a thin layer of water at all times. Yeah. The humidity is like, how much water is there? You know.
Well, like, if it was a gas station pit stop, I need this thing, and maybe you're not looking into it. I'm just trying to explain it away. I don't take that as the truth, because when they sent recon crews in, like, if you're just pit stopping somewhere, I feel like you're not just sending, like, taking
and like, we've also had other crossroads and shit like that, so maybe they've been here before.
And they were doing it at all these different places. That means there's a lot of them.
Yeah.
And so you put in the crop circles, you put in the recon, and all this, and it doesn't just seem like a pit stop. It seems like this is an actual...
Yeah, there's a played out invasion.
What makes the aliens even dumber, especially of how quickly they get their ass kicked and how easily they get their ass kicked.
Yeah, like, in the Amazon and shit, they ain't gonna get very far off, because everything's wet down there. But, like, in the desert, I feel like they're doing alright. Out in the Middle East somewhere, like, there ain't no dirt nowhere. Or there ain't no water anywhere.
Can you imagine the Middle East getting their fucking ass kicked while the rest of the world's like,
yeah. It's like, dude, we can never catch a break.
God damn it.
Fuck. Like,
you mean the one thing we don't have any of is the thing we need to...
Yeah. So...
You know how, like, in Starship Troopers, there's those little kids with smash bugs? And I'm doing my part. I feel like in this world, it would be like kids throwing water balloons at the end. Like, I'm doing my part, too. Yeah.
So, what's the theme to you?
The theme to me is it's all about a man's redemption. It's all about a man who had lost his faith from this accident, and the movie throughout is him regaining it.
So redemption of faith.
Yeah. Belief in... that's like his whole character arc. Like, his whole personality and career was based off his
like his
faith.
character arc. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And to me, he's the main character.
Yeah, for sure.
And, like, at the end, we see him, like, get fully back with it.
Yeah.
And I originally, when I watched this, I think it's just great because he acts like... When I first watched this movie again for this, I really didn't like Mel Gibson's character at all. I really didn't like the guy. I didn't like Graham. And like, looking at it more as an adult.
Yeah.
But when I watched it the second time, it really kind of clicked, is that he's going through all this turmoil.
His trauma, too.
Yeah, his trauma, his kid's trauma.
And he has to, like...
And then you got aliens on top of it, you know.
He's got, like, his kid's trauma, his brother's, like, situation. He's got a lot on his plate. And then you top an alien invasion on top of it. Just like...
Yeah. But yeah, no, to me, this is just a big redemption story, and I think if you took out the cool part, quote unquote, of like why we care about it so much, I think of the aliens.
Yeah.
I think there's still a movie here where you...
give me a total drama.
Yeah, total drama. Mm-hmm. And I think that's a good sign when you can take like a huge story element out of this movie, and I still want to see it.
Like that. That's like the A plot. It's like the drama of it. The B plot's the alien invasion.
Yeah.
My thing was like, things happen for a reason, and there are no coincidences, and things are the way they are. We gotta live life a while to see why these things happen the way they did. And every decision you ever make, or every event that happened to you, leads you to this, where you are right now, and everything happens for a reason. Like,
And I think that's where wisdom comes from, is, you surviving enough of these experiences and decisions and reflecting that you make better ones in the future.
Biggest takeaway?
I don't know what the biggest takeaway is from Signs, honestly. Like, I'm not a huge religious guy, so the religious thing really, I'm happy for Graham, but I don't have, a personal take in it, a stake in it, I guess. You know what I mean? I'm not a guy who had, I'm I'm at Graham in the beginning of this movie, but I've never, you know what I mean? I've never reunited with religion, or been united with religion. I've never, So it's for me, the story really doesn't apply, I just think, life's hard. I don't know, life's hard, shit happens.
I was brought up religion and all that shit, so I have a little different perspective because I had to go to all the Sunday schools and church and do all the whole thing. But, that didn't really stick out to me, I guess, and I gave it my faith in a certain different way and, went my own way on different things. So it didn't really have an effect on me so much. My biggest takeaway was, everyone should get some basic survival training.
Oh, my God.
That was my biggest takeaway. For fuck's sake. There's just so much can be prevented from simple knowledge of just planning and preparation for a crisis.
This guy.
That was my biggest takeaway. That's what biggest side character.
Ooh. I feel
side performance.
I feel like we can't pick anyone in the family. I feel like they're...
Oh, I have mine already.
I know who is fucking Tracy, isn't it?
Tracy! Woo, girl! What's up, baby? Love you, girl.
I like Tracy.
Love you.
I'm just trying to think of anyone
else. Love your
else.
crazy nuttiness. I listen to you ramble all day while
Town Cop is fun.
She's good, lady. Yeah, she had a good...
I like her. She's kind of one of the more, what the fuck characters, with her weird stories.
Yeah.
And,
just didn't really fit and fly a lot, but those kind of did.
She's a real
little
person.
line, those boys can't piss without wetting in front of their pants. I just thought that was, fun. And
that's such a small town thing to say. I like her a lot.
I thought M. Night Shyamalan playing Ray and stuff, not only just a brilliant fucking writer, director, all that stuff, I thought he acted his part very well.
Yeah.
I was really, especially when he's apologizing, I'm truly sorry for you and yours to Graham. That shit hit hard, I think. The way they both acted at the scene now was just fucking phenomenal.
And then he drives away really quick.
Everything was just fucking on point. I thought phenomenal.
So, are you saying Tracy or Ray or Old Cop Wade?
Well, I'm going to give it to my Tracy. But Ray Redding, I really liked M. Night Shyamalan's performance as a side, character, doing a cameo in his own movie. I thought that was great.
I think I gotta give it to the Old Cop Lady.
Old Cop Lady.
Well, we can split it. We'll split it.
You don't have to have this. That's yours and mine.
Yeah.
That's all good.
Yeah.
So, alright. Let's get into some fun facts. I have a few that I kind of found. And I remember from watching the bonus features on the DVD set way back in the day. To you kids that have DVDs, that's what they had before Blu-ray and now all things streaming. So we actually had physical copies that we actually got to own. Media.
Instead of licenses?
Yeah.
Or a streaming service?
Leased out to stuff or how to pay. Because it's the thing, we just got to own movies. It's crazy, I know. So one thing is they grew the corn and built a house for this movie. They had to go through a bunch of different corns to figure out what they could grow in 4 months so it would be ready for filming and shit. So they had some special corn. This breed of corn will grow up real quick and tall, and they need certain stocks that were so tall, so they could have the right effects. They can't have short corn and really tall corn, and so that's kind of cool. The house was painted to be patriotic, so it's red, white, and blue, this blue house, white shutters, and some red in there. So a little bit of that.
That was fun.
And it was a very kind of standard Victorian style house. Even our farmhouse was very similar. Built around, I'm guessing, the same time. I found apparently Joaquin Phoenix replaced Mark Ruffalo.
Yeah.
What did he do?
He did the Hulk. He's the Hulk in the MCU.
I don't like him as the Hulk.
I like his Bruce Banner a lot.
I prefer the 2000 Hulk-ish movie. We'll go over that one later. But yeah, so that's good.
But he had a suicide attempt, right? Or no, I'm thinking of something else. I'm thinking of Tropic Thunder with Matthew McConaughey and.
I have no idea about any of that.
Yeah. Well, it was actually supposed to be Owen Wilson, and then he had a suicide attempt. So then Matthew McConaughey replaced him.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, on this, Mark didn't get the job. They pulled him out of the film due to a brain tumor that they later found was benign.
Oh, good.
So, that's cool.
He's a good actor. I like him.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's like, what did the title mean to you? Signs. How does that relate to the movie?
Oh, I feel like you could either look at it two ways. There's two groups of people. You could either look at it in the literal sense of the signs in the cornfield, or you could mean it as the signs we get and how nothing's a coincidence, yada, 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 yada.
It's like showing you, like, the writing on the wall is there. You might not see signs from the sky that something's coming. You should probably be aware and start getting ready instead of just fucking around and boarding up your house at the last second after you fucking waste all your time cooking some meal that you don't even eat. So, that's my fucking I want to slap the shit out of them. Okay. Favorite quotes? You have any?
I don't know, from this movie.
Yeah. I had a few written down.
What do you got?
So, I like when, in the beginning scene, or one of the first scenes with Bo sitting beside the bed. She's like, there's a monster outside my room. Can I have a glass of water? That just, it's scary. It's eerie. Just a little girl, in the dark. It just kind of freaks you out. I love that, little part.
Also, weird reaction for that kid to see the alien and not have a reaction.
I don't think she saw it because she was, kind of talking, looking straight forward, and he was, looking at her from her one side. So she's kind of looking down or towards him, but his facing towards the wall.
No, but I'm saying for her to before that, the thing we didn't see is that.
Oh yeah, these are monsters on her, and her little kid brain's I'm just seeing some nightmare.
I feel like if I saw that as a little kid, I'd be shitting.
Oh yeah, I'd be pooping my fucking brains out.
These are weird. They're weird.
I would have died from massive expulsion of bodily fluids out of every orifice.
I would have jumped out the window. I'm out.
No, I haven't. I just probably stunned under my covers like some stupid idiot kid. So I don't know. The next one is when Graham's everybody in this family just needs to calm down and eat some fruit or something. I was just great laugh at that one point. I brought it up earlier, but that was one of my favorites. The last one was when Meryl and Cobb are talking. He's excluding the possibility that a female Scandinavian Olympian was running around outside our house last night. What else might be a possibility?
Meryl's great. Meryl's pretty basic.
Yeah, I love it. Joaquin did a great job. It just feels like a brother. I love it. Criticisms. What you got?
The aliens, dude. The aliens' plan is stupid.
Yeah.
They got their ass kicked within 24 hours by a species which should have been.
I think it's not even 24 hours, 12.
The
thing started late at night and it was done by morning. Get the fuck out of here.
They got just turned around
you call all across the galaxy and they're shit. They got water, dog. Our fucking kryptonite. Fucking Bob said it was good. He sent the rest of us in.
You would have saw that shit flying there. It's a blue ball.
Yeah, hey, wait. We just pulled up, I thought there wasn't much water on here. The whole thing's covered with it.
Oh, you meant Earth? I thought you meant Ureth.
Yeah, I thought you meant Mars, dog. That red one. Oh, shit. I fucked up. Yeah, there ain't no water on Mars. This is an ice cap, we ain't gotta fuck with them. But, I don't know. It's shit, my bad, dog. God damn it. Jimmy, you fucked up. You fucked us. Let's just see how it goes. Maybe we'll get lucky. Ah, shit, we didn't. They fucking spitting on us. Oh, fuck.
We got some useless scenes in there.
Yeah. So that was my criticism. A few scenes that I've mentioned already that just didn't quite fit well. The telescope scene.
Yeah. The woman's random story in between the...
Yeah, this getting in shit.
Yeah.
It's just, This kind of fell flat for me.
I don't mind the Scandinavian thing if it would have cut out the middle one about some crazy shit.
Yeah.
That totally unrelated thing.
Yeah.
The I think her rebuttal is actually good.
I see how it kind of plays. If she mentioned that shit thing. That's why she was kind of itching to that. Maybe she was searching to eliminate that option.
Yeah.
Like, so you're saying it's not a woman? Okay, I'm just making sure because we had this crazy bitch coming in town earlier. Like, it just might have been
honestly,
just
her headspace is probably like way better than theirs because she's like, what could it be? It could be something wild like this.
Well, like they experience it though. They're like, no, bitch, there's something wrong. Stop trying to like rationalize it because there's something extraordinary going on here. Mm-hmm. You know. So, anything else on that?
I think it was really smart to make Ray not a drunk driver.
I thought it was great too.
Yeah.
And like when he walked up and he was first assuming like, or like he thought he heard like, oh, I heard a drunk driver. He's like, no, it's not a drunk driver. He just fell asleep.
Yeah.
If you would do that, my only big like car wreck I've ever been in, I fell asleep with the wheel. Just dozed off and I hit the fucking ditch harder than shit. It was terrible. So I'm glad, like, cause that just happens. And I could just happen to fucking run over some lady walking down the, road. Who knows? But fortunately I didn't. My car, well, a little dented up and busted tire, but otherwise fun. Ratings.
I'm giving most valuable actor. We did most valuable side actor. We have to do the overall.
Oh!
Mel Gibson, right?
Oh, Mel Gibson for sure.
Yeah.
Alright, just top tier performance all around. Yeah.
And again, we know he's done a lot of fucked up shit in real life, but
yeah.
Separate the art from the artist.
Yeah.
Like
separate the art from the artist.
He did a fantastic job in this movie.
I don't care. And I don't have to worry about what he did. I'm just seeing what he did on this. I'm just for the characters that involved. Like he sold it and it was great.
And he had the hardest job here because I think without him, this movie kind of really falls apart.
I mean, they might have found, some other actor that might have been able to do it. I don't know. Like it's not one of those roles where I couldn't imagine anybody else like doing it. I feel like I could imagine someone else doing that role.
I think it would be it's a hard role.
But Mel Gibson did a fucking excellent job.
There's like a lot of parts where he's really not a likable guy.
Yeah.
I
think that's like supposed to be a part. Like he doesn't like himself in the situation, and like I think he's showing his kind of like bad side because he's going through shit.
Yeah. And again, that's like really impressive. Like it's not your stereotypical dad archetype. It's this guy who's going through a lot of shit.
Yeah.
And it's just like
he's actually showing emotion. He cried in front of his kids. Yeah. He's struggling. Like a lot of times they'll try to shove that away. Like, no, you gotta stay hard in front of your family and kids. Like, no, he's feeling shit. He's trying to go through it.
Yeah.
He's processing it as best he can.
And again, I think that's just a really cool way to take it. I mean, that's a really cool way to take it. And I think he did a great job. And I think a weaker actor would have. Yeah,
the performance would have been sold as well as it was to me, or to the audience. Okay, now ratings. What do you get?
I give it a 65.
65. So 50 is a standard good movie, right?
Mediocre.
Mediocre. That's like the middle point is 50.
Yeah.
Just standard
we're ripping off the IGN scale. Big fan.
Yeah, standard good movie. I originally gave it a little higher number. I'm kind of going through it again, talking with you about some things. Like, I kind of have to lower it down.
Once you rip out the nostalgia glasses, I think the holes really start to become apparent.
I'll give it a 79.85.
You're a monster, but okay.
79.85. I did start off much higher, 89. But there's a few parts I'm like, oh yeah. I was going off of like nostalgia. I love it,
Yeah.
Love the movie. Overall, love it. Critical, 79.85. And then our IGN scale, something new that you were wanting to recommend that we do. How's the IGN scale working?
So, here, we would what is it, 79?
Yeah.
We're just going to go with 79 for easy math here. That's 14 out of 7, so that's like 72, or 62? Is it 72? Because it's 14, the 7.
I don't know, you don't want to do the math, you know the whole thing. I don't know.
65,
you only mentioned
so it'd be a good movie if you average our two scores together. It's a good movie.
It's a good movie.
For our official...
It's not phenomenals, but it's good.
Yeah. I like the movie. I like it more than Joker, obviously. If you asked me, would you want to rewatch this or Joker, I would pick the Sign. I would pick Signs.
I'd probably pick Signs, too.
Yeah.
For sure.
It's just...
it goes to, my childhood. I was always big into aliens since I can remember. I grew up watching, X-Files and dope shit like that. And in the early 90s, aliens were still kind of a big thing. And
it was always a big thing, yeah.
It's always a big thing. They even have, cave paintings and fucking Renaissance art about aliens, it's been a thing for a while. It's going to be a thing for a while because there's something out there. The truth is out there. So IMDb gave it a 6.8 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 67%. That's like the little popcorn bucket rating, and there's another little rating.
Oh, the popcorn bucket's humans. Or not humans, the users.
Okay, and then what's the other one? Because the other one says 75%.
That's the critics.
Oh, well, critics did better. So I need to write the critics down more, because I just didn't know what the two icons meant. So I thought the corn was the one we wanted more. And it had way more entries, so I was like, yeah.
Well, we were pretty on spot there, 72.
Yeah. On par with the rest of it. All right, well, that pretty much sums it up. What are we doing next week?
Mulan.
We're going to do Mulan?
I'm very excited. I've been waiting years.
I'm not really
I am waiting
too excited for this because you just told me how terrible it is.
I can't
and
wait.
We've loved, the Disney animated Mulan forever, and it's so good. And now, apparently, the live action fucked it. I can't think of one live action that did better than like the animated ones. They all kind of fall flat, so. But we'll see how it goes.
Oh, I think it's going to be a genocide.
And so, yeah, we'll do that next week. And that'll be our last one until we release, correct?
Yeah.
So we'll take a week off, I think, and then we'll just get everything squared away, edit it up, ready to go, release, finalize, names, and figure out the platforms, how to release the shit, and get our socials up and ready to go, and we'll release here. No. Well, by the time you hear this, we've already been playing for a long time, but.
Yeah. For over a month.
I'll probably cut all this out, but all we need is kind of the end of it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Fuck yeah. Next week, Mulan. I thought this was a great time, so.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Until next time.
We nailed it. High five. Yeah. You're going to catch my foot.
And
you know exactly where it's going.
That's why it takes 5 minutes.
Where's my foot going to go, William?
Gonna go up my butt.
Mm-hmm.